Call Brighton Dental.
Hey guys.
954-922-4633.
Good morning, everyone.
This is your special invitation to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar. Be sure you and your family are properly protected, even if you already have a trust. Learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators.
Good morning, everyone. Subscribe if you don't. We're coming on the air live now.
And the IRS. This free Living Trust seminar is Tuesday, January 28th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
The Steve Kane Show is live in Morning Drive, 6 till 9 a.m. weekdays, and overnights, midnight till 6 a.m., 7 nights a week. To call the show toll-free, 1...
All right. I have never been so confused as so far as my body clock goes as to what day it is, what week it is. Welcome back, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. Welcome back to a brand new year. I cannot believe I am saying this, but it is 2020. It's hard to believe, isn't it? It is 2020. We are here live. This is our first show of the new year. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, and here we are in the year 2020 and still going strong with all kinds of things to talk about today. I got a lot going on, a lot happening. Your calls certainly are welcome at 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. You know, I was wondering over the weekend, I'm going to throw this out to you, and this may sound crazy, and maybe it is, but I think if you guys think about this, you very well may agree that something's going on here. You know, the Congress is coming back now. We're in a new year. The holiday time is over. I did notice the roads were very, very busy today. Very, very busy. Oh, man. On New Year's Eve, when I left the show, it was like a ghost town. Yesterday, roads in the morning, very empty. And today, it was like a traffic jam coming to work at 5:15 in the morning. So I know you're all back to work, people. Oh, man, I know. It's back to reality. Back to reality. Anyway, I'm going to throw this out to you, and I would like someone to call me and give your opinion as to whether or not this is a crazy idea or if this makes sense to you, and I'm going to lay this out. It involves Nancy Pelosi and the impeachment. The Congress is coming back now. So Nancy Pelosi is going to have to make some decisions here. Is she going to send the impeachment articles to the Senate to have him quickly acquitted? I was reading today that they say if she transmits it over there, that President Trump will be acquitted before the State of the Union. Does she not send the articles of impeachment? Does she go to add more articles to it? Does she just let this whole impeachment thing hang there for a while? Who knows? You know, Nancy Pelosi had momentum on her side when they voted the impeachment articles. They had the Schiff hearing, the Nadler hearing, then they had the vote. Boom. And they had momentum. Now it's been weeks. How long ago did they have the vote? It seems like it's been about a month. So, has it been a month? We're a month into this. So obviously there is no urgency, as we were told prior to the impeachment vote. So this is what I'm throwing out here. Is Nancy Pelosi blowing the impeachment? Is Nancy Pelosi trying to give the Republicans a victory in 2020? And let me illustrate what I'm talking to you about and give you an example of when Republicans did this 10 years ago. 10 years ago was the Tea Party revolution, right? Obama was president, and in 2010 is when all those Republicans, those Tea Party Republicans, like Alan West, won House seats nationwide. And the Republican establishment did not care for these Tea Party candidates. They tried to take over their offices by giving them orders on who their chiefs of staff would be as a way to control them. That happened with Alan West. And some of the Tea Party Republicans that were running for congressional seats in both houses said they were getting zero support from the Republicans and that the Republican establishment would like them to lose. And what they were saying was this, is that the Republican establishment would rather control the loss than lose the victory. And what that means is to have a victory where all these Tea Party candidates were calling the shots and pushing the Republican Party in the Tea Party direction that the establishment really didn't want to. And that's something we talked about prior to the election. It was huge, and we didn't know how it was going to turn out because of the Republican establishment working against these good Tea Party conservatives like Allen West and many others nationwide. So what I'm wondering is there a similar thing going on in the Democrat establishment? Nancy Pelosi is Democrat Party establishment. There's no doubt about it. She was originally opposed to impeachment. Has she been forced into doing something she did not want to do? Is Nancy Pelosi working to lose the House of Representatives in 2020? You know, Nancy has been around for a long time. She was around in Democrat politics when Kennedy was president. She goes way back. She could retire with honor. You know, the Democrat establishment, they don't want to... Look at how the Republican establishment fought to help Hillary over Donald Trump. Remember, both President Bushes voted for Hillary. So the Republican establishment in 2016 were working very hard to cost the Republicans the White House. Is Nancy Pelosi doing the same thing now because of the radicals, not just AOC and the whole squad, but there are other radicals that came in too, as well as activists of the left that are pushing the Democrat Party establishment into areas where they don't want to go. So is Nancy Pelosi trying to lose the 2020 election in the House of Representatives? I say yes. I say yes. And that may be that may be why she held on to the articles of impeachment. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. Is that crazy? Is that nuts? Think about it, though. Look at how she's behaved. The number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's Kane with a K, K-A-N-E. 888-465-2631. By the way, we take calls from both sides. Liberal, conservative, Trumpers, never Trumpers. We'll take calls from all of you, especially in the new year. All opinions are welcome. 1-888-465-2631. Let's take a call here. The first call of the Roaring 20s here on the Steve Kane Show in the year 2020. I feel like I'm living in the future. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Top of the year to you. Thank you for taking my call. And by the way, once again, the name of the party is the Democratic Party.
Okay. Okay. Well, you know, yeah. What? By the way, I forgot your name. What's your name?
Warren.
Warren. All right. Welcome to the program. First call of the year, Warren. So let's make it good. Is Nancy Pelosi trying to lose the House in 2020?
I have no idea. Sometimes you ask her, and I don't mean to be evasive. Maybe I just don't have. Does she want to lose the House? I doubt that she. I mean, I'm just guessing with logic. I doubt that she wants to lose the House of Representatives. If that's what you mean, more than Trump wants to lose the White.
Well, she's not. Okay. Well, why'd you call me today? Obviously, you called with something that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about.
Something, you know, as I said, I can't get the program in here, so I get your nightly reruns sometimes in the car, and you had solicited for people who, for whatever reason, did not like Trump.
Okay.
So I thought to respond.
Well, with the question I asked Warren, okay. This is the question I asked. This was last year, technically. This was the other day. I'd asked this question. What has Donald Trump done as president? A policy or something he's done as president using the powers of the presidency that would make a Democrat disapprove of him and not support him?
Okay, that is as you said. Not just with him, I would disapprove of anyone who cuts benefits to the poor. It says in the Bible, you shall not begrudge the person of the poor. That's a major thing.
Okay, wait. Okay, slow down. What policy has President Trump put forth that has cut money to the poor people?
The recent actions concerning the SNAP card, the food subsidy.
Well, food stamps. Okay, what you're talking. He is not. What is he? Yeah, I know they come in you get the like a debit card, but we still call them food stamps. EBT, they're called oftentimes. You can use EBT to buy clothing and stamps and all kinds of things. Earned benefit something. I don't know. Earned benefit something. Well, okay. I don't know what the T stands for. Earned benefit. I don't know. We could Google it and sound smart. What is he? What? Oh my goodness. Oh, no wonder. What? Okay, but hold on a second. What is he specifically cut involving food stamps?
The food subsidy was cut by way of saying that at least the attempt to demand that.
Oh, by the way, someone in the chat, it's electronic benefits transfer is what I'm told it stands for. Electronic benefits transfer. So not earned benefit, electronics benefit transfer. Okay, so what did he cut?
Knowing what I know about how the corporations, for example, with the so-called easy online applications are shutting countless people out of the marketplace, it worries me to think that such people unable to get, if they may be partly self-employed, but to get an other employer when those things like not having a job or.
Well, no. What did he cut? You say he cut money to the poor. You mentioned food stamps. What did President Trump do that cut food stamp benefits?
Or I quoted the Bible for.
Now we're not talking about the Bible. You say President Trump cut food stamps. How did he cut the food stamp program?
Action on the food subsidy.
What was the action? Tell me what the action was.
The one I just said. They're putting the bill, or at least trying to put a bill through that would prevent people who aren't working 20 hours a week for someone else, not self, from getting the food.
Well, that's not something he's done. That's a bill. And when Trump is involved in negotiations, he always asks for more than he wants. What Trump did with EBT, okay, is he brought back the work component, the welfare to work component, right? That people had to be actively searching for work to qualify for benefits, and if they weren't actively searching for work, they would lose such benefits, okay? And that was a policy that was brought in by Bill Clinton, by the Democrats. So while the people on food stamps has been drastically reduced under President Trump, the main reason that's happened is because of the economy taking off like gangbusters. I mean, we are literally under Donald Trump in the roaring 20s. Hopefully the 30s turn out better than the 1930s. So, but that's something he's just recently done. But you supported Donald Trump until he was proposing some changes with food stamps? Come on.
My feeling about
Steve KANE Show.
President Trump, I remember when
Steve
he
KANE
was
Show.
elected, and I frequently called the White House comment line. I said to the person there, I hope he turns out to be the greatest president in history, and I was quite sincere. I said, I doubt very much that it'll happen.
No, there's a federal component to it. There's a federal component to it.
Tend to be disappointments anyway.
All right, it was a good try at a call. Not a lot of content there. We're kind of messed up in technicalities and gobbledygook. I would like to get something a little more meaty. But Warren, you're becoming a regular, which is good. Oh, I've always got something meaty. If I didn't have meaty things on my mind, I wouldn't be on the radio. All right, Warren, take care. Thanks for your call. First call of the year. Oh, my goodness. All right, listen, let's take our break. We'll get back to the phones after the break. My name is Brian. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve KANE Show. On the radio since 1977. It's 2020, people. We're back. Back to work. No more holiday time. We'll be right back.
I'm Craig here. I've been telling you to call Debbie at I Will Advisors and have her review your homeowner's insurance policy and save you money on your insurance premium. I'm in studio today with a Steve KANE listener, Don. Don did just that.
I called Debbie. She looked over my homeowner's insurance policy and told me I was paying way too much. She updated my policy. It didn't cost me a dime. And now my mortgage payment has been lowered because my insurance premium is part of my monthly mortgage payment.
Ron, and I'm glad Debbie can save you all that money.
Hey, Sarah.
You can
Good
save money,
morning.
too. Call
Good
Debbie
morning,
at
Sarah. Make sure
iWorld
everyone's
Advisors,
subscribed over there.
954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. Have her review your policy and lower your homeowner's insurance premium. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Hey guys, are you losing your hair? Stop hair loss in its tracks and call Dr. Mitch Matez for a free consultation. Talk to him about hormone replacement therapy. Hormone replacement therapy will stop hair loss in its tracks, and the hair you have left will grow in thicker and fuller. Stop your hair loss and call Dr. Matez. 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490. Online at hormonetherapybocaratone.com.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection.
Welcome.
Of
Good
tires
Happy
too,
New Year to
starting at
everyone.
just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price.
Well,
right over the
unfortunately,
phone.
Warren, while he
954-977-9445.
is liberal, he's boring.
954-977-9445.
You know, he's boring, unfortunately.
Online, friendlytire.net.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right. Yes, I'm Brian Craig. Of course, Friendly Tire open today. Friendly Tire open on Saturdays, too, by the way. Friendly Tire, they are open on Saturdays. A lot of you that can't make it in during the week. Saturday's a good day for that. All right, we are back. New year. Oh, man. New year. Things are going well. Phones are already cooking. It's 2020. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. On the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO, Kane 1-888-465-2631. Let's go to Mike in Louisiana. Hey, Mike, good morning.
How you doing, Brian?
All right.
How you on this thing about Nancy Pelosi? Because, look, not only what you say, but remember, she was around when the Republicans were going after Bill Clinton, and she saw what happened to the Republicans after they went after Bill Clinton, the House, how it flipped then, because they went after Bill Clinton and he didn't get the job done, but he went after him. Remember, so she's for all her things about for all the things we say about her, she's not a dummy. Nancy Pelosi is not a dummy. So.
Well, you know what I'm for people that are just tuning in, I brought this up at the top of the hour, and I was asking if Nancy Pelosi is trying to lose the House of Representatives so that these radical leftists that are growing and growing in influence are washed out of the party. And I have another story which I'm going to get to in just a little bit that kind of backs up my theory. And I gave two examples of when the Republicans recently did the same thing. The Republican establishment worked for Hillary Clinton to beat Donald Trump. The Republican establishment were willing to lose the presidency to keep control of the party. So is Pelosi doing a similar thing to wash themselves clean of these radicals?
Right, and if you look at it, there are already rumors about people running against AOC and running against Omar. You know, I don't know about the other two in the squad.
Yeah,
the entire squad ran on that stuff. I mean, what was her?
Well, I mean, think about this: Nancy Pelosi, who's been a part of the Democrat Party since 1960, is being pushed around by people that were born like in 1989. And these are kids. She's been working hard for the party all these years. Do you think Nancy Pelosi and her friends that have spent 50 plus years, 50, 60 years working in the Democrat Party want to be pushed around by some kids that right out of college? And I don't think so. And the party, she was very much opposed to impeachment early on and was forced and pushed into it.
Right, and remember, these are the same guys who tried to knock her out of the speakership.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. There was even talk of AOC becoming speaker when she first went to that. Yes, you're absolutely correct that her time was past. If you remember, AOC was talking about how Nancy Pelosi and others in Democrat leadership were so old they should step aside for the children to take over the party, that they no longer represented the Democrat values. Absolutely.
Right, and with her, I mean, we know that she has a long memory, and that Pelosi has a long memory. So, I mean, she hasn't forgotten about that, and that's the thing with this squad who seem to have been gaining in power and notoriety and such, and all these other people that are all for impeachment. Even some of her older Democrats, Maxine Waters and Al Green and all these people who are there who are the older Democrats that probably will get washed out of the party as well.
Yeah. And going back to what they did in the Tea Party, the Republicans worked actively to help Democrats beat Tea Party Republicans in 2010. They failed, but they tried to. So, these party establishments, when you have a Republican Party that was willing to lose the White House to keep control of the party, you're telling me that the Democrats wouldn't be willing to lose the lower of the least important of the two houses for an election cycle or two to maintain control of the party from these radicals? I think they would. Because not only that, the big donors have lost their grip on the Democrat Party in a lot of ways too, because you have these socialist and communist that are at war against these multinational companies and billionaires, and the donors, that's who they are.
I didn't think about this. Who was one of the main guys that was against the Tea Party in Congress? John McCain.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. He was. Yeah. Well, Mike, in Louisiana, that's great. So 2020. Did you do anything special on New Year's Eve, Mike?
Nah, I didn't even pay attention to the made-for-TV New Year's Eves. I haven't watched any of those things in years.
Yeah, I fell asleep before midnight, woke up after midnight. I missed the whole thing. And I didn't drink any alcohol. I just went to sleep. I fell asleep. My wife stayed up with, but I fell asleep. It's not a big... The New Year's Eve used to be a big thing to me. It's not. It's just a nice day off to relax and get ready for the busyness. Even though I'm so confused. Today's Thursday, and my body does... I'm so messed up when the holidays fall in the middle of the week, Christmas and now New Year's. I'm all messed up. So we're here today. We're back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. Then we got the weekend. It's all messed up, man. It's all messed up. All right, Mike in Louisiana, thanks for your call. Yeah, I don't think that's a crazy idea that I'm talking about with Nancy Pelosi here. And I think those of you who might think it is, if you think about it, you might have a little change of heart about that. All right, let's take our break here for the bottom of the hour. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO, KANE, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. That's a toll-free call. That's right. No matter where you were listening, we take calls from all sides. You heard Warren. Oh, man. Warren, I give Warren credit. He doesn't like Trump. He's a Democrat. He's trying. It's very, being a Democrat right now is not an easy thing. You got this very successful, popular president. It's not easy to try to counter someone who's doing such great work. And, look at this incredible resolve President Trump has had at our embassy. We'll talk about that coming up today, too. All right, listen, this is the Steve Kane Radio Show. My name is Brian Craig. We are back. We are now in the Roaring 20s. It's 2020. It's Thursday. We are back live. Let's take our break, and then we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
invitation to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar. Be sure you and your family are properly protected, even if you already have a trust. Learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators, like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. This free Living Trust seminar is Tuesday, January 28th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782. Did you know that your skin is your largest organ? Yet, it's probably the most neglected. Living in South Florida means having an annual checkup for skin cancer is vital. We live in the Sunshine State after all, and our skin bears the brunt of the sunshine. It's time to have your annual skin checkup. There's no better doctor to take care of this for you than Dr. Jose Mendez. Dr. Mendez is a board-certified dermatologist, and when it comes to caring for your skin and making sure that it is healthy as possible and skin cancer-free, you want Dr. Mendez as your personal dermatologist. Dr. Mendez is caring and very knowledgeable. Your annual skin cancer exam is covered by Medicare. Dr. Mendez also takes
if you're not subscribed, subscribe.
Recently had his
click the like button, click the notification. If you're on a mobile device, close out the chat and the subscribe and notification and like button will pop right up, then just reopen the chat.
7681 954-431-7681. When you call, make sure to ask for Sarah. She takes extra good care of Steve KANE listeners and will get you an appointment fast. Early detection of skin cancer can save your life. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681.
Yeah, it is awesome.
954-431-7681.
If you suffer from excruciating back pain or sciatica, pay careful attention to what I'm about to tell you. According to a study in the medical journal Spine, back surgeries to alleviate back pain frequently backfire, leaving the patient in more pain than before they had the surgery. A second study from the University of Cincinnati College of Medicine provides clear evidence that 74% of surgeries for back pain fail. But there is an end to your suffering. There's a solution
they were, Sarah.
Problem waiting for you with Dr. Troy Lemaski. Dr. Troy Lemaski is my personal chiropractor, and if the name sounds familiar, it should. He's the brother of Dr. Janae Lemaski. Dr. Troy specializes in the elimination of back pain, sciatica, joint pain. He does it quickly, easily, and without surgery or pain medication. While he can help you with your back and neck pain, Dr. Troy also provides treatment for the hips, the shoulders, the knees. If you've been in a car accident, any type of injury, or slip and fall, the pain won't go away. Well, if you want to get back to
I did not have
self,
ranch. No, I ate them with nothing,
Dr. Troy.
actually.
His number 954-463-3036. That's 954-463-3036. Online at drtroylemaski.com. Tell him that Steve Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back, everyone. Yeah, Dr. Troy Lemaski, Dr. Janae Lemaski's brother, he is our newest sponsor here on the Steve Kane Show, our most recent sponsor. You may have noticed we've added several new sponsors to the program. And thank you all for supporting our sponsors and continuing to do so through 2020. Now, Dr. Troy, we call him Dr. Troy, not to confuse him. I told Dr. Troy, I said, your sister takes care of our emotional health, our mental health, and our minds, and you take care of our joints, neck, and back. And let me tell you, Dr. Troy, he's located in Fort Lauderdale, near Federal Highway and Oakland Park Boulevard. Very convenient to get to, by the way, no matter where you're coming from. I mean, I drove over there from Boca, and it took me maybe 20 minutes. It's a quick drive over to Dr. Troy's office on near Federal and Oakland. And it's amazing the work that he does. If you have neck pain, if you have back pain, or any joint pain, it's not going to go away. It is only going to get worse unless you take care of it. So call Dr. Troy Lemaski. He can handle all of your joint pain needs. 954-463-3036. And, of course, he's listed at stevekaneshow.com. 954-463-3036. Take care of that joint pain, that back pain, that neck pain, that knee pain, that elbow pain, wrist, fingers. I tell you, you know, with all the time we spend on our mobile devices, fingers, hands, wrists, yeah, I know. He can help you with all of that. 954-463-3036. Dr. Troy Lemaski for all of your joint, back, neck, knee, whatever it may be, pain needs. Oh, man. This is an amazing, 2020, I'm adding a new news site that is on my must-read list of news sources each and every morning before I go on the air, and it's Dan Bongino's Bongino Report. Dan Bongino bills this as the alternative, the conservative alternative to the Drudge Report, and it's very, very good. And it's getting better every day. It's BonginoReport.com, not the Bungie. It's BonginoReport.com. Great stuff, great analysis, great stories. And I love it. There was a story from yesterday. AOC's district, this is at BonginoReport.com, AOC's district could be on the chopping block. Let me read this story to you. I know. See, this fits into what I was talking about in the first half hour of the show about Nancy Pelosi willing to lose the House of Representatives to maintain control of the Democrat Party. Listen to this. As BonginoReport.com reported earlier in the week, the 2020 census is set to shift around seats in the House of Representatives in a manner that slightly benefits states that voted for President Trump. The states projected to pick up seats are Arizona, Colorado, Florida. Here in Florida, we're going to get 2 more seats. Florida is about to become, in the next couple of years, is projected to be the most populated state. Montana, North Carolina, Oregon, and Texas. Every state gaining seats in the House voted for President Trump in 2016, with the exception of Colorado and Oregon. The states losing seats are Alabama, California, Illinois, Michigan, Minnesota, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, West Virginia, and New York State. That's right, emphasis on New York State, where all attention is looking. This story, people are looking at this story even over the holiday period. The list is more evenly split politically, with California, Illinois, New York, and Rhode Island having voted blue in 2016, as they always tend to do. States that voted for Trump, listen to this. States voting for Trump are gaining 8 seats and losing 5 with the reallocation after the census in the House, for a net gain of 3. So Trump states nationwide are gaining 3 seats in the House, while states that voted for Hillary Clinton are gaining 2 seats and losing 4 for a net loss of 2. So Republicans are gaining 3 seats in the House because of the census, and the Democrats are losing 2. And then you factor in how popular Trump is in places where he may not have been as popular in 2016. Oh, man. Bongino Report, they write here. In other words, states that voted Trump are expected to see an increase in representation. Although it's a small one, it's still an increase. New York was one of those expected to lose a seat and possibly will lose 2. And the one getting the axe could be Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC. That's right. And PJ Media's Matt Margolis on this issue wrote what I'm about to read to you. This is from PJ Media. Matt Margolis. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, may be a rising star in the Democratic Party, but the district she represents could potentially not exist following the 2020 census, since New York is expected to lose as many as 2 House seats. According to the city, nearly 47% of her district is foreign-born. Wow. And more than a quarter are not citizens. Both are segments of the population that are often underrepresented in the census due to concerns of taking part in an official government count. And AOC's district has a higher percentage than any other district of undocumented illegals. This could mean that her district could be divided up in reapportionment, meaning that AOC might have to face another incumbent to stay in Congress. Frank Luntz says that the state's Democrats are actually looking to draw out her district. Wow. Wow. Now, and they have a little amendment here. This has been on AOC's radar, and in August, AOC began encouraging her constituents, 25% are illegal aliens, to partake in the census. That's unlikely to work, and AOC is unlikely to be able to defeat another incumbent. As a poll conducted by Quinnipiac found, AOC polls at a net negative, with 36% having a negative opinion of her, compared to 23% with a positive opinion of her in the district. So, oh man, could you imagine? They're trying to take that seat away, so if she's going to run, she'd have to run against another incumbent. And I remember months ago, she was, some people connected with AOC, they were looking into a possible Senate run for her when she's old. And how, you have to be 30 to run. Do you have to be 30 for the Senate? 25 for House? Is it 30 for Senate and 35 for President? I forgot. I think it's 30 for Senate. I may be wrong about that, but I think it's 30 for Senate. So she's been looking at, she's known about this. And what happens a lot of times with the party establishment, somebody comes out of nowhere and becomes a powerhouse like AOC, and a lot of people within the party get very jealous about this. Happened with Alan West. Alan West was spectacular in Congress. Steve and I are big supporters of Alan West. Everyone loves Alan West, right? At least everyone who's a Republican. And when he was very famous, he was AOC famous among conservatives. And anytime Steve and I had a private meeting with Republican candidates or Republican political consultants or Republican campaign workers and those types of people, they would always come up to us and whisper, "What do you think of Alan?" And they hated him because they were jealous. And I had more than one Republican political person tell me that a lot of people in the Florida Republican Party think that he came up too fast, that he jumped the ranks of a lot of other people, and they don't like that. And look what happened. They got him out. They got him out of Congress. The Republicans worked on that. The Republicans didn't want Alan West around. And there's a similar thing going on with AOC and others of these radicals. So, that's good for us in the long term. I mean, well, I don't know about the long term. That's good for us in the short term. I think in the long term, too. Because if there's too many Democratic Socialists coming into the Democrat Party, that's eventually one of them would find themselves as president. And we certainly don't want a Democratic Socialist as president at any time in the future in the United States. So if this Democratic Socialist movement, even the Tea Party movement's gone. I know that they've got the Freedom Caucus and all that, but it's not the same. The Tea Party as we knew it back in 2010 and 2012, it's pretty much gone, isn't it? Yeah. And my opinion is the Democrats are trying to do the same thing to the Democratic Socialist. There's a story earlier this week that Bernie Sanders is becoming the presumed nominee. I mean, that's a losing proposition for them. And if Bernie Sanders became the nominee of the Democrat Party and then lost, right, well, that would be a big blow to the Democratic Socialist and the Democrat Party. Oh, I talked about this last week over Christmas and a little bit before New Year's, and you're going to hear me mention this more in the next coming weeks. And I have been getting messages on this. We just haven't done a segment yet. We have brought back the most popular segment in the history of the Steve Kane Show, and that's our voicemail. Anytime we are not on the air, from 9 o'clock in the morning until 6 a.m. the next day, and this is 7 days a week. Anytime we are not on the air live, you can call and leave us a voicemail message. And if the message is good, when you call, the voicemail will pick up. You'll hear my voice. If the message is good, we will play it on the air. And we used to play our voicemail messages once a week or so on the show. And some of the messages we've been getting are pretty good. I must say, they're pretty good. And the reason I'm not playing a lot of them now is because a lot of it is, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and all that stuff. But if you're an overnight listener, and, because we're not on live overnights, midnight till 6 a.m., but the show is on the air, you can call and leave a message. If you are someone that doesn't like us, if you're a Democrat and you don't have the guts to call us while we're live on the air, call and leave a message on our voicemail. and I will play them on the air. I promise you. Now, what I've done, so I don't forget to engage the voicemail, is the voicemail picks up after a certain number of rings. I've forgotten how many rings that is. So when I'm on the air live, if you call and the voicemail picks up, that's just because I didn't pick up the phone in time. I got to check the number of rings and adjust that a little bit. So when the phone rings a few times, it'll automatically go to voicemail, even when we are live. But we're going to try to avoid that. But if you have an opinion and you don't feel confident enough to go, for whatever reason, call and leave us a voicemail. The best are the ones that are never Trumpers, Trump haters, Democrats, liberals. You don't like me. You don't like Steve. Those are the best and the most interesting voicemails, and those are the ones that we're most likely to play. All right? And also, if you want to get in touch with Steve and I for any other reason, including business inquiries, you can call and leave us a message there as well. All right, let's take our break, our last break of the first hour of the Roaring 20s, as it is 2020. It is Thursday. My body thinks it's Monday. Are any of you others out there, is your body like, come on? Is it It seems like Monday. I know it's tough, isn't it? Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. The voicemail number is the exact same number as the live call-in number, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back after this.
Or buy your dream home. Then call LaBella Real Estate. LaBella Real Estate love President Trump. And like Donald Trump, LaBella Real Estate want to get you the highest dollar amount when selling your home. And when looking for a new home, LaBella Real Estate will find you the best deal. LaBella Real Estate have over 20 years of experience in real estate and mortgages. And they are very knowledgeable about the South Florida real estate market. If it's a condo, single-family home, a luxury home, LaBella Real Estate can help. Buying or selling, call LaBella Real Estate at 561-445-7023. 561-445-7023. And online, LaBellaRealEstateLLC.com.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had
Make
a
sure you
lot
guys
of work
subscribe.
done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free
Steve Kane Show.
consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities. I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
Donald Trump here. You're listening to the most pro-Donald Trump radio show in America, The Steve Kane Show. I love this show. Melania and I listen all the time. There's no better way to get the word out about your business than advertising here. Make America great again and advertise your business on The Steve Kane Show.
Not a bad idea.
President Trump, call Steve Kane and Brian Craig, and we will discuss advertising your business on Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right. Welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. We are back. It's a new year. It's 2020. Is everybody back from vacation? Like Rush and Hannity and all those guys? I don't know. All right, let's go back to our phones. 1-888-465-2631. Nick in Baltimore. Hey, Nick. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Happy New Year, everyone.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, this is the year. Oh yeah.
Listen, go along with what you're saying. I hope you're right, and I think you are. That Pelosi is. I think the Democrats are going down.
Okay, so just to recap for people that are just tuning in, because people are going back to work today and they're all foggy mind. I was talking about at the top of the hour, is Nancy Pelosi doing what the Republicans tried to do in 2016, and that is lose the election to maintain control of the party. So you think Nancy Pelosi, you agree with me, to clean house of these AOC plus 3 and the Democratic Socialist and Radicals, that she's attempting to lose the House in 2020?
Yeah, because they've gone too far.
And the only way to because if they have a victory, there'll be more of them.
That's right. And they don't want that. Remember that basically Democrats and Republicans are basically centrists.
Yeah.
Even Donald Trump is a centrist. You know, he's neither liberal nor conservative. He's in the middle. And that's really where most people are, you know, and that's really what's happened to the Democrat Party, is it's gone so far to the left that it's really no longer the Democrat Party. It's really the Communist Party.
Yeah, Communist Party USA is not even, you don't hear about them anymore, because I guess they really don't need them with all these Democratic Socialists. So this is interesting. So do you think this may be, I'm glad, because when I was thinking about this yesterday, and I thought, you know, maybe I'm just a bit loopy from all the holiday thinking, but I was listening to discussion on television, and I was listening to some radio shows about all the reasons that Nancy Pelosi hasn't transmitted the articles of impeachment to the Senate. And my first thought was, you know, she had so much momentum, it would have been so easy to do. And because of the holiday time, the Senate trial would have been hanging over him for a month at least before they could really start with it, because of Thanksgiving, because of Christmas and New Year's and everything. And the only thing I could think of is that she wants to bungle the impeachment.
I think so. Well, it was a bad idea to begin with, and you've got these idiots like Al Green, not the singer, but Al Green and all these characters.
Well, Al Green said yesterday that they started working on impeachment during the Trump campaign.
Oh yeah.
I mean, how the hell is that possible? How's that going? You know, how's that even? Does President Trump have an incredible resolve when it comes to an embassy being attacked? We've never seen a president defend an embassy like this.
No, and I was thinking the same thing, and he said it's not going to be another Benghazi, and I was even going back to Carter, and I thought, well, it's not going to be another Carter.
Well, you know, everyone's talking about that one, yeah, Tehran and Benghazi, but they skip over. Remember the attacks in Africa when Bill Clinton was president? On our nothing was done there. You know, I remember when they were George Bush. I'm not a fan of George W. Bush. You know, he voted for Hillary Clinton and everything. You know, and what we're dealing with is him blowing up the Middle East. You know, but he approved the construction of this embassy in Iraq, and the Democrats made a big issue out of it, because the embassy in Iraq is the largest embassy, at least the one that was being proposed back then. I haven't heard anybody talk about this since the attack. So this is from my recollections back when the embassy was being proposed to have a permanent embassy, that it is the largest and most fortified embassy ever built. And some were comparing it in size to Vatican City. I don't know if it's quite that big, but this embassy was built with a lot of security. It's very large. It has massive walls. It's reinforced. There's all kinds of layers of security to get through it. It was built with the expectation that things like happened the other day would happen to it. But President Trump moved in the Marines. You know, unlike, you know, Jimmy Carter, the Marines at the U.S. Embassy in Tehran didn't even have bullets in their guns.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? He did. You know, they had the guns, but no bullets. They couldn't defend the embassy.
No, they couldn't. And actually, that was an act of war.
Yeah, and you know, back in Benghazi, people keep referencing it without going through the details. The ambassador was trying to contact the Secretary of State, Mrs. Clinton, for quite some time for help and backup, and there was no response. And here you have President Trump. He sent in the Marines. He sent in Apache helicopters without hesitation. And, you know, Iran, I don't think Iran expected this kind of reaction, because the past record on embassy attacks has been pretty good for the Iranians.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Been backing down all these years.
Yeah.
With the Republicans, you talked about this many times, where the Republicans have just given in. And now for the first time you have a real guy in there who's not taking any stuff.
No, absolutely. And he's, and when Benghazi, when that consulate was and a consulate is an embassy, when that attack happened, there were there were troops I remember in Italy that were ready to go, and Obama had checked out and would not give the okay to go in. Or even there was one story that someone from the military, when they wanted to at least send in fighter jets to do low-level, high-speed flyovers, which would scare the hell out of the attackers. He wouldn't even do that because he was so afraid of having a military exchange over there, and it resulted in our guys getting killed. And you look at the past embassy attacks. So far as I know, and maybe you can of one, Nick. So far as I know, out of the history, at least in the modern era, since I've been coherent, of U.S. embassies being attacked, this is the first time that the President of the United States has responded fast, swiftly, with a massive military reinforcement of the embassy, as opposed to either doing nothing or bugging out.
That's true. I agree. I agree completely because, again, you have somebody at the controls who really is in charge and really has a direction, whereas with, I think really the worst thing that ever happened, and it is Barack Obama, because, starting with really the Clintons, but leading up to Barack Obama, actually Bush too.
Yeah.
I mean, they led us in such a bad direction.
Yeah.
Trump is really pulling things back to the way they should be.
Well, we don't know exactly what happened. Well, we don't know exactly what happened in the Situation Room up here at Mar-a-Lago, but my guess is the story happened, and President Trump got on the phone to the Joint Chiefs, got on the phone to whoever's in military command over there and the ambassador, and said, "What do you need?" And they told him, and he said, "Do it." As opposed to, when Benghazi was attacked, Obama left. The reports were that when the Benghazi attack happened, that President Obama was in the room with Biden, and I can't remember who the next person was. It might have been the defense secretary. I can't remember who it was. It wasn't Hillary, but that it was Biden and Obama. They were in a room with another cabinet person. I want to say the defense secretary. They were getting live reports from Benghazi, and Obama left the room. Involved
in that?
I don't know. It's been so long. I gotta go. I can't believe it's been almost 7 years. Well, I guess a little over 6. It was 2013, which is hard to believe it's been that long since Benghazi. But he left the room and did nothing. So that's the complete opposite of what Trump. What do you expect the Iranians to think? When they've done this in the past, there's been zero reinforcement of our embassy. And if you look today, they say that the local Iraqis have gotten control of the security situation around the... I'm for pulling out of Iraq. I mean, I'm not saying we shouldn't have an embassy there. I think we need to have an embassy there. But we've been involved militarily over there for way too long. It's time to move out, move on militarily. In my opinion, the war's been going on since 2003.
Well, that's another thing that this president has done. He's actually exposed the fact that for year after year after year, we've gotten into these wars, and it's time for this stuff to stop. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Absolutely. Hey, Nick in Baltimore, thanks for calling. It's the top of the hour. I appreciate it, and have a great 2020. All right, take care. Nick in Baltimore, good guy, longtime listener of the program. All right, that's what our first hour of the Roaring 20s is down. 2 hours to go. Coming up on the 7 o'clock hour, my name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977, and still going strong. All right, hour number 2 begins right now.
KANE Talk Network is 95.3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470, WWNN Pompano Beach.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled
Be right
my
back,
appointment
guys.
for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at
I missed the calls
brightondental.com
coming in because I went to
and tell them
get
Lori
the door
Kane
for
sent you.
Steve.
Medical billing sticker shock. Ever have that happen to you? You go to your mailbox and get a bill for a routine test, and you owe lots of money. You thought it was covered by your insurance, but it wasn't.
Steve
The
Kane
cost
Show.
of healthcare
I
shouldn't
gotta
be
answer
your
the phones
budget.
faster.
You know what?
I gotta
It doesn't
adjust
have
that.
to.
It's
This is
picking
Brian
up
Craig,
too quick.
And I want to save you a lot of money on lab tests like cholesterol test, diabetes test, thyroid screenings, drug test, STD test, and whatever other test you
Steve
need.
Kane Show.
These are common lab tests, but can cost hundreds of
Hey, Steve.
dollars if you go to your doctor's office or to one of the big labs. But there is a solution at any lab test now of Plantation where you will save money, big money on medical tests. Save time too. In and out in 15 minutes or less. Avoid medical billing sticker shock. I've been going to any lab test now at Plantation for years now for my lab test, and they've saved me thousands of dollars on my test. If you have any questions or want a quote on a lab test, give them a call. 954-916-1072. 954-916-1072. The Any Lab Test Now at Plantation staff will answer any questions you have, or just stop by. No appointment is needed. No doctor's order or prescription either. Any Lab Test Now at Plantation is located in the Jacaranda Plaza. That's the public shopping center in Plantation, just west of University Drive, on the north side of Sunrise Boulevard. When you stop in, make sure you tell them you heard about them on The Steve Kane Show. 954-916-1072. 954-916-1072 for Any Lab Test Now of Plantation.
This is Steve Kane. When it comes to looking your best, sometimes you need a little extra help. Dr. Nathan at the Nathan Clinic is a renowned plastic surgeon here in
Hey,
South
guys.
Florida who will bring out your most beautiful self. Dr. Nathan, highly skilled, knows how to reveal your inner beauty and make you look
Steve
your
Kane Show.
absolute best.
I gotta be
He's a
quicker on the phones. I'm
board-certified
missing
plastic
all these
surgeon who
calls.
come from miles around just because of his extraordinary
What I gotta
skills
do
and his caring
is
bedside
move the
manner.
phone
Dr.
board
Nathan
somewhere.
performs breast augmentations, facelifts, Botox, tummy tucks, liposuction, and much, much more. Visit his website. Read the testimonials.
Because the
from
phone
his
board
patients.
isn't
You'll
like
love
right
Dr.
in
Nathan,
front of
and
me.
you will too.
I'm not
He
sure
has
where to
years
move
of
it so I
experience
see
and
it.
Present credentials that make Dr. Nathan the only plastic surgeon you need visit. He'll
Maybe
advise
I
you
should
and
put it
tell you
here.
the best course of action so that you will always remain true to who you are. You can contact Dr. Nathan
Maybe
for a
I'll do
no-charge
that.
consultation by calling 305
Move it.
area code 680-5121. That's area
Yeah, I know.
code
Call back, Jeff. I
305
have the phone board set up in a way I
680-5121
keep missing all the
or
calls.
drnathan.com.
I'd much rather
Tell
talk
you heard it
to
on the
Jeff
Steve
than some of the
Kane
people
Show.
on hold.
This is your special invitation to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar. Be sure you and your family are properly protected, even if you already have a trust.
Yes, Happy
Learn how
New
to
Year,
avoid
everyone.
Losing an inheritance to predators, like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. This free Living Trust seminar is Tuesday, January 28th, from 2 to 3
Yeah,
p.m.
Jeff's a
at the
good caller.
Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
The Steve Kane Show is live in Morning Drive, 6 till 9 a.m. weekdays, and overnights midnight till 6 a.m., 7 nights a week. To call the show toll free.
All right. Welcome back. The second hour of the new year. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. On the radio since 1977. It is 2020. I am calling this the Roaring 20s. with hoping that the 2030s turn out better than the 1930s. But we're in the roaring 20s right now. That's right. That's right. Any flappers out there? We'll go back to our busy phones before I bring up some new things. They have been very busy this morning. Everyone's back on their normal schedule. Steve in Royal Palm. Hey, Steve.
Morning. Happy New Year to you and Steve and Richie and all the rest of the followers. Okay, let's put you in Nancy Pelosi's spot. You are the Speaker of the House. You're the most powerful woman in the country right now. You have people following you on every word. You just pulled out the biggest stick you got to get rid of the President of the United States who you hate with every bone in your body. And he just told you to stick it. What are you going to do now?
Well, she didn't pull the final step. She didn't send the impeachment. Listen, let me just do a quick recap for people that are just tuning in so they know what we're talking about, Steve, and then we'll talk about it. I opened the show at 6 talking about what Nancy Pelosi is really doing, holding off on these articles of impeachment. Is Nancy Pelosi trying to lose the election so that the Democrat establishment can get back the control of the Democrat Party away from these radical Democratic socialists? And the Republicans tried to lose the White House in 2016. Republicans like Bush 1 and 2 both voted openly for Hillary Clinton. And you saw the Never Trumper movement, and look at what Mitt Romney did with his address to the nation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So if the Republican establishment is willing to lose the White House, you don't think the Democrats, to maintain control of the party is what they were doing, the establishment, in 2016. You don't think the Democrats would do something in the House similar to that?
Well, the thing is this. Nancy Pelosi is one of the richest women, one of the richest in the country right now.
Yeah.
She's worth $250 million.
Yeah.
So she doesn't need the money. So the only thing left is the power. But when you have these wackos like AOC and the other bozos usurping her power, basically, you do what we tell you or else, she's in a predicament where she's frozen. I don't think she even knows what she's going to be doing because every which way she turns, she's going to walk into a wall.
So you think she's kind of like a deposed head of state, and she's just a figurehead at this point, Nancy Pelosi?
The day AOC walked into her office, climbed up on, I think it was her desk, and started screaming and yelling with AOC's sycophants, Nancy Pelosi realized she just got taken down a whole lot.
Well, I agree with you, Steve. And, AOC also in the early days when she went to Congress said that Nancy Pelosi and others in leadership are too old. They need to step aside and let the younger generation take over that represent democratic ideals of today. And believe me, she hasn't forgotten about that either. Listen, do you remember how Nancy Pelosi became Speaker in the first place, the first time? Do you know why they chose her?
No.
Because she was the top Democrat fundraiser in the House. And so these donors, I don't think these donors are very happy with the radicals, not just AOC and the squad, but all of them that have come in. They've lost their juice. Look at what AOC did with Amazon. And this talk about them redistricting New York and doing away with AOC's district, that talk began when she got Amazon with their 50,000 jobs to leave New York. Okay? So the donors are who Nancy owes allegiance to, not her constituents, and not, and I don't think these donors care for these democratic socialists coming in that are all about individual donations and sticking it to the corporations and the billionaires, et cetera, et cetera. No, I think the Democrat establishment is trying, the only way they can cleanse themselves of the power of AOC and the radicals is to lose control of the House.
Yeah, but also understand this. Trump's a new type of animal. They've never dealt with an animal like Trump. And Trump has got Barr going after all, Biden is just the tip of the spear. All the rest of them, they're busy going, okay, I better slow down my side business here. Because they don't know where Barr is going, who Barr is going to, bring up in the net. So basically, Trump is costing them their side.
Well, they have been saying the last couple weeks, Durham has been making a lot of moves and is very close to coming out with indictments. And, we've been in a holiday period for a month. That means the federal courts and the federal government and the agencies of government have not really been working all that much since the eve of Thanksgiving, okay, since the day before Thanksgiving. And a lot with Durham, I think, has been slowed down by the holiday period. Now we're out of the holidays. Everyone's back to work today. And Monday next week, that's when I expect something soon from Durham and Barr, very soon.
But also understand this. They look at Trump, they try to paint him as a big goofus of the, Tito's man with that blonde hair and all that other stuff. But if you look at how he responds to things, take that thing in Iraq. He was within minutes, I'm sure he was telling the Marines, get over there now, do what you got to do. So don't you think he's going to be doing that to his enemies? Like Nixon had an enemies list. You don't think Trump has an enemies list? And these people know they're on it?
Yeah. Well, everybody has an enemies list. Everyone in politics has an enemies list. I know they try to make that... Yeah.
But not everyone's the president of the United States.
Now, maybe you can think, because you're a little older than I am, Steve. In your lifetime, when U.S. embassies have been attacked, is this the first time with President Trump that you've seen a massive defense, a military defense of the embassy being made? My recollection is there's been no action, pullouts, and in the case of Tehran, taking the bullets out of the guns of the Marines there to protect the embassy. Is this the first time a president has defended a U.S. embassy when it's been attacked, to your knowledge?
Well, if you put him up against somebody like Carter, look at it this way. Carter had that embassy tied down for 444 days.
I hope it's our
the
cruise
day
guy.
Reagan came in, poof, it all went away because they were afraid Reagan was going to do the same thing.
It was, yeah, that's right.
The attitude.
That's right.
The United States is the strongest, most powerful country in the world. People should understand that, and the United States of America, its citizens...
Well, the times that our embassies have been attacked are what? Tehran is the most famous, right? The embassy in Africa when Clinton was president. People forget about that one. That's not getting mentioned, but that was an embassy attack. Benghazi and now Baghdad, Iraq. And those previous attacks, boom, when the protest began in Tehran, President Carter ordered the bullets taken out of the Marines' guns, so they couldn't defend anything. They couldn't defend the embassy when it was being attacked. The embassy attacks, there was no military response under Clinton. He sent the FBI to handle it as a crime scene investigation, and they did like some CSI William Peterson thing, and we all know what happened in Benghazi. I've never seen President Trump's response militarily, he sent immediately 100 Marines, and which of course are elite troops, and we've been at war so long, all of our troops in every infantry branch, Marines and Army, are veteran troops, so we sent 100 of our best, the Marines, with Apache helicopter backup, and I read this morning that there is more backup for embassy security on its way. And boom, that's it. We've never seen anything like this. President Trump's response has been spectacular, and no one so far, to my knowledge, has been killed.
I just read this morning. Remember Obama shipped them that pallet loads of money? It came out to like $150 billion. Yeah. So far, what this article is saying is the sanctions Trump has put against the Iranians has cost them over $200 billion.
That's right.
In income. So Trump is hurting them 9 ways to Sunday.
Well, when they got the money, they blew through it. Because, it's like winning the lottery, right? They got pallets of money, and they thought the U.S. was going to be dealing with them forever from that point forward. So they spent it like lottery winners, right? And I saw that same story you're talking about, and the entire money was wiped out, and then really double the amount with the sanctions that Trump has put on Iran. So Iran is under the impression that the United States will deal with them because we always have.
The people that attacked the embassy in Iraq, that group, which is funded by Iran, numbers of 80,000 from what I'm reading. So they have, in Iraq, they have over 80,000 terrorists, whatever you want to call them, that are directly paid for and supported by Iran.
Yeah.
That money's going to be running out. And Iran needs that power to
Well, because those guys got it. The problem with those guys, yes, you're right. Those people need to get paid in cash. They don't, you know what I mean? So when they back a terrorist organization, they have to pay them in cash. And cash is something, from all reports, that they're running short of.
Well, ideology only goes so far, and it doesn't fill your stomach up and put bullets in your gun.
Yeah.
Squeezing them and squeezing them. And I can see him, he's going to do something to get even with them. And the only thing I can see him doing is doing a blockade on their shipping. Keep them bottled up. He's got, last I heard, he's got 2 carrier task forces in that area.
Well, yeah, and you know, now we're in a new phase in the oil business, because now under President Trump, we are the #1 producer of oil in the world, which is where we should be. We were until the 50s, and now we are the #1 producer of oil in the world. And if he sends out some military blockade on any of their shipping from Iran, any of their oil shipping, that helps the U.S. economy, because it puts a higher demand on the oil. We're drilling more oil than we can refine, you know. So we're the #1 exporter of oil in the world again, the United States, and that's a benefit to our economy. This isn't the old days when the liberals weren't letting us produce oil, and we needed their oil over there in the middle. We don't need their oil so much anymore.
I was just reading Israel has just opened up their new pipeline, and they're shipping out, I don't know if it's natural gas or oil as well, but Israel also is coming online as a worldwide exporter of...
Oh, well, that's good. That's good. That's awesome.
Iran's going to be cut to pieces financially.
Yeah. Well, that's spectacular news. All right, Stephen Royal Palm, thanks for the call. All right, yes. Here we are. We are back live, first show of the year. Oh, man. And I got to tell you, I cannot be the only one whose body clock is off. I mean, it's Thursday. It feels like Monday. And tomorrow is going to be worse. But next week, I guess we got to get our bodies back on track. All right, let's take our first break of the second hour. It's 18 minutes after 7 o'clock in the morning. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. The phones have been very busy this morning. Great calls, great commentary. We even heard from a lib. Oh, my goodness. Oh, yeah. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
This is Steve Kane. When it comes to looking your best, sometimes you need a little extra help. Dr. Nathan at the Nathan Clinic is a renowned plastic surgeon here in South Florida who will bring out your most beautiful self. Dr. Nathan, highly skilled, knows how to reveal your inner beauty and make you look your absolute best. He's a board-certified plastic surgeon. People come from miles around just because of his extraordinary skills and his caring bedside manner. Dr. Nathan performs breast augmentations, facelifts, Botox, tummy tucks, liposuction, and much, much more. Visit his website. Read the testimonials from his patients. They love Dr. Nathan, and you will too. He has years of experience and impressive credentials that make Dr. Nathan the only plastic surgeon you need visit. He'll advise you and tell you the best course of action so that
make sure everyone subscribes.
True to who you are. You can contact Dr. Nathan for a no-charge consultation.
That's my wife sending me a text.
Area code 680-5121. That's area code 305-680-5121 or online at drnathan.com. Tell him you heard it on the Steve Kane Show.
This is Brian Craig. I've been telling you about the great deals and incredible customer service at Friendly Tire on both new tires and used tires. One of our listeners, Antonio, went to Friendly Tire and called to share with us his experience of buying used tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hey, yes, Brian, I want to give you a quick testimony about the tire place up in Margate, Friendly Tire. Friendly Tire is everything you said it would be, man. I went up there and got me some used tires, and when I went up there, man. He was very courteous. My whole family's going for that one, man. Everything you said it was going to be, man. I appreciate you for that, man. And,
Steve Kane Show.
Mike's a great guy, man.
Well, what's your name?
Antonio.
All right, Antonio. Hey, I'm glad we could save you and your family lots of money on tires at Friendly Tire.
Oh, no doubt, man. Thanks so much, man.
Do what Antonio did. Stop into Friendly Tire and find incredible deals on both new and used tires. Give Friendly Mike a call right now. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. And Mike will give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, welcome back. Brian Craig here with you. This is Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. The Daily Mail, the most read newspaper in the English-speaking world. Listen to this headline. I'm just reading from the Daily Mail. This is shocking headline. Barack Obama welcomed leader of U.S. embassy attack to the White House. Iran's point man in Baghdad, Hadi al-Amiri, was hosted in the Oval Office in 2011, 8 years before he orchestrated siege in Iraq. The leader of an Iran-backed U.S. embassy siege in Baghdad was welcomed to the White House by Barack Obama 8 years ago, before becoming Tehran's point man in Iraq. Oh, my goodness, the Daily Mail. Richie the bus driver, good morning.
Yeah, good morning and Happy New Year to everybody. And I think what you just said, this is what I was going to talk about. You know, you and Steve were just talking about this attack and what they're doing, Iran. You only look as far as the biggest, and they're worried about Donald Trump with a phone call, okay? These are the same people that kissed the President of Barack Obama's behind for 8 years, okay, and let this guy trash this country overseas and then give boatloads of cash to the biggest, to Iran. And they should be talking about the boatloads of cash that they flew in the middle of the night that he tried to hide from the American people, and he was exposed by a reporter. And they gave him a free ride. The stinking press in this country should have attacked him worse than Trump. You talk about a traitor to this country? The President of the United States, that's a traitor.
Well, the past president of the United States, not the current president. Yeah, let's be clear on that. Well, yeah, absolutely, and yeah.
The money that they've spent down on weaponry and everything else, come on, this is disgusting and free ride on this.
Yeah, and I've noticed, something I've noticed, John Kerry, who was running around the world like a hysterical woman, trying to save the Iranian deal when Donald Trump was doing away with it. I haven't seen anybody go to John Kerry for comment on this Iranian-backed attack on our embassy. Have you?
Yeah, it's really, the people in this country ought to open their eyes with this AOC crap. Her and the rest of them, they are out to destroy this country as far as I'm...
So now, Richie, the government's coming back. Washington's coming back to work. What's Nancy going to do with the impeachment from this point forward? What do you see her doing now?
I don't know. I don't know, because I'll tell you the truth. I think that she is really to put lawmakers like this in charge of our country. I mean, I hear her talk. I watch her bumble. She's a nasty witch. Whenever you cross her, she's just a nasty witch. She comes across, I pray for you crap. I mean, she is one nasty woman.
Yeah, but slow down. Now think about this. Who does Nancy Pelosi dislike the most? Donald Trump or AOC?
I think AOC.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, because AOC has challenged her power and is pushing her around.
Yeah, she has no power. Her power, but she's a nasty witch. This is, but you know what, Brian? What about all the money that this? I come back to this. What about all that money? Well, how come that hasn't been like on the front page of every paper and every radio station and every television?
Yeah.
For the past how many years?
Yeah.
He got nailed. He got caught. He tried to do this in the middle of the night with nobody watching. If it wasn't for that one reporter reporting it, he would have got away with giving him all that money with nobody knowing about it. You know how much money that was? And they used all that money for what? To terrorize the world, to terrorize us, terrorize everybody, give money to all these terrorist organizations and the weapons and the rockets. Come on, what the hell did they give the?
Yeah, but you know, you look at what's going on right now. They've already spent the money. They blew the money. Trump said a couple years ago they spent all the money because they thought it, you know, like I said, like lottery winners from a trailer park, you know what I mean? They get all this cash and they thought that the United States was going to continue to deal with them because they figured Hillary would be president, you know. So they're desperate for money. The sanctions Trump has put on has not only wiped out everything Obama gave them but double that amount. They're in a lot of trouble, and this attack on the U.S. Embassy was an attempt to get the United States to deal with them and give them something because that's what we've done in the past.
Pompeo was interviewed. I forgot who I was watching the interview, and they asked him about the embassy. What are the chances of and I mean he is cut and dry. I mean, like President Trump said, this is a threat. They are not messing with the same group of people in the White House that they did before. They're not messing with allies. Their allies were in the White House for years. And now they finally have adversaries in the White House. And the American people, man, how stupid are you all out there that vote Democratic?
Listen, since 1979, Iran has been pushing us around with a bit of a break with Ronald Reagan. But outside of that, they've been pushing us around since 1979, and they're not, like I was talking with the caller earlier, Richie, this is the first time that I can recall that a U.S. embassy has been attacked, and the President of the United States has had a massive response militarily to defend that embassy. 100 Marines, Apache helicopters, there's Army soldiers coming in today, more on the way, please. And not one, and this is what's amazing, as of now, not one life was lost on either side in this attack.
Well, let's blame the whole attack on Benghazi on that money also. You know, I mean, the guy has been. I just can't understand this. When you hear the name Barack Hussein Obama, what if you didn't know he was the president of the United States?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. After on September 12th, I know. Well, they did it twice. They elected him and reelected him. All right, Richie the bus driver, take care, man. All right, take care. Oh, yeah. You know, Dr. Gupta from Brighton Dental, Dr. Gupta's a great guy. Over the holidays, he came in on the show with his daughter. I know a lot of you may have been away. During that time, he was in here with his daughter, and Dr. Gupta's had just an incredible response from listeners to the Steve Kane Show since he's been advertising with us. And he offered, and this is an amazing offer for Steve Kane listeners by Dr. Gupta from Brighton Dental. Listen to this. Free exam. You got to mention the Steve Kane Show for this. When you call Dr. Gupta, you get a free exam and, get this, free x-rays. I know, that's wild, isn't it? Now, you've got to mention the offer and the Steve Kane Show when you call, because this is an exclusive offer to listeners of the Steve Kane Radio Show. Free exam and free x-rays for Steve Kane listeners when you call Dr. Gupta's Brighton Dental. It's absolutely amazing. And, of course, they've got those incredibly low prices over there. He threw in something else, too, which is spectacular. He threw in also free second opinion. So if you've been to another dentist and they told you need this done or that done, let's face it, in the field of dentistry, there's a lot of dentists out there that are doing unnecessary work. I mean, that's, you know, I think people kind of accept that. Not Dr. Gupta. And if your dentist has told you need something done, whatever it is, call Dr. Gupta. He will give you a free second opinion. That's absolutely amazing, isn't it? So for Steve Kane listeners with Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental, free second opinions. I've never heard of second opinions in the dental field before, but Dr. Gupta does it for free. Free second opinions, free exam, and free x-rays. Absolutely amazing. Give Dr. Gupta's office a call, 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. Take advantage of these incredible offers that he is offering. Free exam, free x-rays, and free second opinion for Steve Kane listeners. That's absolutely amazing. Dr. Gupta, of course, listed at stevekaneshow.com, 954-922-4633.
Lori Kane, and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a
Steve
lot
Kane
of work
Show.
done, and I avoided going to the dentist for
Hey.
a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities, I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
Are you paying too much for auto insurance? Call Debbie at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080, and she will review your auto insurance policy at no charge. 954-753-8080. No matter what your situation is, tickets, no tickets, accidents, no accidents on your record, you may be paying too much. Call Debbie right now, 954-753-8080, and stop paying too much for auto insurance. 954-753-8080.
This is your special invitation to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar. Be sure you and your family are properly protected, even if you already have a trust. Learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators, like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. This free Living Trust seminar is Tuesday, January 28th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, yeah, and Steve Kane and me, Brian Craig, will be at Attorney Barry Siegel's office Tuesday, his workshop, Tuesday the 28th from 2 to 3 p.m., that Revocable Living Trust workshop. Be there or be square. All right, let's go back to the phones. Greg 2, good morning, you're on the radio.
Good morning. Happy New Year, everyone.
Yes.
Listen, Brian, you know what? Donald Trump saves lives. If he was president, or Ronald Reagan for that fact, during the Benghazi, you saw the movie on Benghazi, I'm sure, correct?
Oh, yeah, it's horrific to watch, very difficult. I saw it once. I won't rewatch it. It's terrible to see what happened.
Watchers, I only saw it one time. These people were begging for help. Like, they're under siege. And the Obama administration, Hillary Clinton, our Secretary of State, did nothing to help those people till it was too late.
Well, you know what? In Benghazi, we don't really know what happened there. There's been a lot of theories. One of them was this, why was the U.S. ambassador in Benghazi and not Tripoli? Because Tripoli is the capital. And there was speculation that Chris Stevens was sent to Benghazi to retrieve weapons that the United States gave to the anti-Gaddafi people. And one of the theories that was speculated upon was one of the reasons that Barack Obama didn't send in support is he didn't want, people have mentioned, he didn't want to have another Black Hawk Down incident, but he didn't want to have an incident of a major ground conflict there with dead on both sides and us fighting against terrorists that are using weapons that we gave them. Yeah.
It's a theory. No one's ever proved it. No one's ever,
Yeah, but it's that. But we know he was there to get the weapons back, Chris Stevens. So where did all those weapons come from those fighters?
Right. But, as far as Donald Trump taking this initiative, what he's done to protect I think you stated earlier, just when I started listening to you, I think we should pull some of these embassies out. Why do we need them in these terrorist states? They get attacked occasionally. I mean, can't we just fly in an ambassador occasionally? What is your...
Well, the thing about, I got to tell you, I was watching some of the footage in front of the embassy in Baghdad and Iraq, and I saw the one guy burning the American flag, and it was a little tiny flag, but he was still burning the American flag. And I was thinking, how many Americans were killed and severely wounded and are disabled today, physically and mentally, to give Iraq democracy, and they're burning a damn U.S. flag over there. And this war in Iraq has been going on since 2003, so we're going to be approaching year 17 soon. I don't remember what month in 2003 it began, but we're approaching 17 years. So we are approaching a period in time where it will, in another year, we are going to have men and women in Iraq who were born after the war began. I think the war's gone on. I think the fighting over there has gone on long enough. I mean, Trump agrees with me, but come on.
And that was the biggest disappointment with George Bush, was starting that Iraq war to start off with, and if he wouldn't done that, his taking a whole.
I was in favor of the war at the time. I was so wrong. I mean, I was so wrong. People forget what it was like in the post 9/11 era, and I think a lot of people like me were in favor of the war in Iraq. We were lied to by George Bush. We were lied to by British. Think about it. The weapons of mass destruction came from the people that brought us the dossier, British intelligence.
I'm right there with you. I was in support of it. I'm like, okay, let's go after Iraq. But it turned out to be one of the biggest mistakes, I'd say, in American history. We got into there, thousands upon thousands of lives expended.
Well, I would put Vietnam first, because the loss of life of American lives was so huge in Vietnam. But look at what has happened because Bush went into Iraq. Because President Bush went into Iraq, the entire Middle East, this Syrian civil war, ISIS, all of it, the Muslim Spring, Libya turning into from a place that had a bad guy running it, but out of our hair, to a mess. It's all because Bush went into Iraq. We were lied to, and that's and all this is George Bush's fault, G.W. Bush. No doubt about it.
I also put a lot of blame on Dick Cheney. I think he was the driving force, to be honest with you.
Well, he put together, there's no doubt. There's no doubt.
He's an influential person, and he wanted to go in there. I'm not saying for Halliburton or whatever, but all of that being said, I almost wish we'd just pull out of the Middle East altogether and let them do what they want to do over there. Just protect our borders, protect our...
The only reason the Middle East, there's two reasons the Middle East are significant to us. One has been oil, and the second is Israel. We don't need them for oil anymore. We're the number one producer and exporter of oil in the world, and we haven't even under Donald Trump, we're number one in oil. We have been for quite some time,
oil anymore.
No.
Now we just need to protect it.
Correct.
In Israel.
Yeah.
Kind of like Iraq and Syria and all these terrorist states.
Yeah, that's right. That's the only reason. War for oil. It's interesting how the left are so against. They always, when there's Republican, they're against war for oil. But Donald Trump pulling out of the Middle East, they want us back in there. They're upset that Donald Trump's been pulling us out. But he's not going to get us into a war with Iran. Defending the embassy is not the same thing as an invasion. I don't see him getting involved. President Trump has been anti-war his whole life, going back to Vietnam. He's been consistently anti-war. So I don't fear he's going to get us into a war with Iran.
He's a moderate when it comes to, like a war hawk. And just one last comment. Do you recall, like during the election, they said, if Trump is elected, he's going to get us into wars, we're going to be, fighting with other countries. He's done the opposite. He wants to pull out. And I think the American people...
Absolutely. Now, what are your thoughts? I don't know if you heard me talking about this earlier. I was talking about how I think Nancy Pelosi is trying to lose the 2020 election in the House so they can cleanse themselves of AOC and these radicals that have taken the Democrat Party so far to the extreme.
It's an interesting theory. I mean, did you come up with that on your...
Yes. I was thinking about it yesterday. Yeah, because, yes. I didn't hear that anywhere. I have my own ideas.
She's losing power. She's all over the place. First, she didn't support impeachment. Then she does it, but then she won't file it. She's got these radicals on her side. It's an interesting theory. I'm impressed with it because, You know what she is?
I did not, Jeff.
She like Richie said, she is a witch. She'll do anything to maintain power. So you know what? I don't know what, she's probably doing it because she knows she's going to lose power to these liberal radicals, these socialists. So get them out. And I think AOC, by the way, I think she could be taken out of office in the first term. You know, I think her numbers are down. So you know what?
I don't think AOC is I don't think AOC is a sure bet re-election. I don't, the people behind AOC targeted that district because it was a safe Democrat district with a low voter turnout, and they got a huge, they got a huge primary turnout for her, and they won it quite by accident. But her opinion polls in her district and approval ratings have been incredibly low. People in that district are not happy. Nancy Pelosi's not happy with her. You know, if Pelosi's not happy, you know Schumer's not happy, and he's the top Dem in New York. And you know the governor is not happy, and you know that the mayor is not happy because of the Amazon, 50,000 jobs evaporating from New York because of her. She's made a lot of enemies inside the Democrat Party, and they don't want her reelected.
Amazon thing is going to come back to bite her in the butt because that's a lot of jobs to lose to go send over to New Jersey, I believe Amazon.
Yeah.
50,000 jobs to people that.
And they were high-paying jobs, too. They were high-paying jobs, six-figure jobs. These were not, minimum wage jobs or $15 an hour jobs, whatever the minimum wage is up there. These were very high-paying jobs. And could you imagine the outgrowth of the community around there? It would have become a tourist spot to go and see the Amazon facility, and the whole place would have been an economic boom beyond the facility itself.
Number one, you need restaurants,
gas stations. That's right. That's right.
So what she did was reprehensible. It hurt the people in her district.
And then she went out and bragged about it. And she went out and let me tell you, these politicians in New York are corrupt. They're corrupt. They had all kinds of deals and plans for that Amazon facility, and she blew it. So believe me, yeah, that's right.
Oh, we got lost $50,000 because
That's right.
It's
She ran right out of her office into the hallway to TV cameras, high-fiving people over it. And let me tell you that the Democrat Party machine in the state of New York and in New York City are not happy with her. They're as upset at her over that as John Kerry and the Democrats around Obama were upset when Trump threw out the Iran agreement. All right, I got to run, but thanks for the call, Greg, too. All right, yeah, we're back. It's a new year. Can you believe it's 2020? I really can't. It's hard to believe that it is 2020. Real quick here before we break, have any of you been on the Brightline train here in Florida? I've been wanting to take the Brightline train, but anytime I see the Brightline train is a somewhat high-speed rail. Here in South Florida, and they're talking, it just goes in the, it goes through like Broward and Palm Beach County right now. They're talking about expanding it all the way to Walt Disney World. And the only time I hear about the Brightline is when it kills someone. And I was just thinking of taking the Brightline with my daughter just for fun from Fort Lauderdale up to Palm Beach and back. It's pretty cheap. We were at a railroad crossing. It went by. It goes 79, 80 miles an hour. And listen to this. This is the Sun Sentinel today. Not even a full day into the new year, a Brightline train struck and killed a pedestrian Wednesday. The high-speed passenger rail service has been fraught with a high number of deaths since it began its run in South Florida in July 2017. It's since been rebranded as Virgin Trains USA, but is commonly known as Brightline still. Wednesday's incident at about 3:12 p.m., in the 300 block of Dixie Highway in Pompano is where this happened. The passenger train was headed south. Pompano Beach Fire Rescue pronounced the man dead at the scene. The The train travels through several Florida cities with stops in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and West Palm Beach. It crosses dozens of busy intersections. It reaches speeds of 79 miles per hour. More than 40 people have been killed. Hear that? More than 40 people have been killed. This train's only been operational since 2017. Not even 3 years yet. 2.5 years. 40 people have been killed. It says more than 40 have been killed. A rate of more than one a month, according to the Associated Press. Some were suicides. Other victims were people on foot, in cars, or on bikes who misjudged or ignored warning bells or gates and tried unsuccessfully to beat the Brightline train, according to the Associated Press. Medical examiners have found many victims have drugs or alcohol in their systems. I don't know. I mean, Ron DeSantis is asking Florida Department of Transportation officials to look into it, but man, 40 people. I don't think we're meant for high-speed rail in South Florida, all right? 40 people dead in 2.5 years? I don't think so. People just aren't prepared or ready for it. All right, listen, let's take our break. When we get back, there's more to share. We are back. It's a new year. It's 2020. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back after this.
If you suffer from excruciating back pain or sciatica, pay careful attention to what I'm about to tell you. According to a study in the medical journal Spine, back surgeries to alleviate back pain frequently backfire, leaving the patient in more pain than before they had the surgery. A second study from the University of Cincinnati College of Medicine provides clear evidence that 70%
Make sure you guys subscribe if you're not subscribed.
Back pain fail, but there is an end to your suffering. There's a solution to your problem waiting for you with Dr. Troy Lemaski. Dr. Troy Lemaski is my personal chiropractor, and if the name sounds familiar, it should. He's the brother of Dr. Janae Lemaski. Dr. Troy specializes in the elimination of back pain, sciatica, joint pain. He does it quickly, easily, and without surgery or pain medication. While he can help you with your back and neck pain, Dr. Troy also provides treatment for the hips, the shoulders, the knees. If you've been in a car accident, any type of injury, or slip and fall, the pain won't go away, well, if you want to get back to your old self, you want to call Dr. Troy. His number, 954-463-3036. That's 954-463-3036. Online at drtroylemaski.com. Tell him that Steve Kane sent you.
Are you looking to sell your house or buy your dream home? Then call LaBella Real Estate. LaBella Real Estate love President Trump, and like Donald Trump, LaBella Real Estate want to get you the highest dollar amount when selling your home. And when looking for a new home, LaBella Real Estate will find you the best deal. LaBella Real Estate have over 20 years of experience in real estate and mortgages, and they are very knowledgeable about the South Florida real estate market. If it's a condo, single-family home, a luxury home, LaBella Real Estate can help. Buying or selling, call LaBella Real Estate at 561-445-7023. 561-445-7023. And online, LaBellaRealEstateLLC.com.
If you suffer with diabetes, there's a 25% chance that you'll develop a foot ulcer that can lead to severe health consequences, including amputation. At the sole authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own therapeutic shoes and custom inserts. Medicare recipients are entitled to 1 pair of quality diabetic shoes and 3 custom inserts. Call the sole authority today, 954-597-7060.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for...
All right, welcome back. 49 minutes after 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. And you may have noticed a lot of new sponsors joining the Steve Kane Show for 2020 because this is a big year, man. This is the re-election year. It's the presidential year. This is like the World Cup of talk radio this year. And welcoming all of our new sponsors. And, of course, thank you all in the listening audience for your continued support. When you support any of our sponsors, and I know a lot of you support all of our sponsors, which is spectacular. You do support this program, and we do thank you very much. Dr. Troy Lemaski, Dr. Janae Lemaski's brother, he is one of our newest sponsors to the program, and he does incredible work. And you need to remember, if you have back pain, neck pain, knee pain, or any type of joint pain, and you do nothing about it, it's not going to get better. In fact, it's going to get worse. And if you're suffering from any type of joint pain, back pain, any of the things we're talking about, wrist pain, finger pain from all the times on the computers, call Dr. Troy Lemaski. His office is in Fort Lauderdale. He's located near the intersection of Oakland Park Boulevard and US 1 Federal Highway. It's a very quick and convenient drive from anywhere in South Florida. From Boca, I get there in about 20 minutes. It's pretty simple. In fact, from Boca, the way I just take Federal Highway. Boom, straight shot right down there. Boom, boom, bam. Very fast. But he is great. He's Dr. Janae Lemaski's brother. We call him Dr. Troy to keep the Lemaski straight so you know which one we're talking about. And he's a very, very good. He's Steve's doctor. He does incredible work, and he comes very highly recommended from his sister, Dr. Janae Lemaski, who's been my therapist and Steve's therapist for many, many years. Dr. Troy Lemaski, listed at stevekaneshow.com. Give him a call, 954-463-3036. 954-463-3036. Oh, man, I tell you, what an exciting year this is going to be. There's a big push now among Democrats on Mayor Pete. And this I have only seen on one story online. How many of you knew that he's no longer Mayor Pete? He is no longer the mayor of South Bend, Indiana. His term has expired over the New Year holiday. Mayor Pete is ex-Mayor Pete now, former Mayor Pete. He's no longer the mayor of South Bend, which is interesting. You would think that the mainstream liberal media would go to South Bend to cover the transfer of power from former ex-Mayor Pete to the new mayor of South Bend. Zero coverage. And this is a very interesting thing I just had happen to me during the break. There's a story on him no longer being the mayor of South Bend. I know. Did you know this? No. He's no longer Mayor Pete. He's former Mayor Pete now. The Democrat formerly known as Mayor Pete, ex-Mayor Pete. And the story, a pop-up ad came up on the story about him no longer being mayor, and it's a Democrat presidential primary poll, and I'm going to take it right now. And it's from an anti-Republican. It's from an organization called Stop Republicans. Okay. And let's go through and see what questions they ask. And I was surprised. It is a Mayor Pete Buttigieg presidential poll. And it was the pop-up ad that came up when I was looking at this story during the commercial break about Mayor Pete no longer being mayor. And so let's go. You guys want to take this poll together? Let's take the poll. Here's the first question. How likely are you to... Now, I got to answer the question so I can move to the next page of the poll. So I'm going to answer these questions, and I'm going to answer them honestly. How likely are you to support Pete Buttigieg in the Democratic primary? 100% voting Buttigieg, very likely voting Buttigieg, not decided, unlikely to vote Buttigieg, or will not vote for Buttigieg. Well, I find it interesting that they call him Buttigieg as opposed to Mayor Pete, which is what he's been known as. Will not vote for Buttigieg is what I'm marking. If he becomes the nominee, do you think Pete Buttigieg could defeat Donald Trump? There's three choices: yes, no, and unsure. I'm going to go no. Do you think Pete Buttigieg would make a good president? Yes, no, unsure. I'm going to say no. Do you think Pete Buttigieg would make a good vice president? Yes, no, or unsure. I'm going to say no. Have you watched any of the Democratic debates so far in which Pete Buttigieg participated? Yes or no? I'm marking yes, I have watched the debates. If you did watch any of the debates, how would you grade Pete Buttigieg's overall debate performance? Excellent, good, fair, poor, awful, or didn't watch? Well, I'll tell you, in the last debate, he had the only moment in the debate that I remember, and it was a pretty good one-liner. They were talking about all these different things and attacking him on that wine cellar thing that he did, the wine cave. And former Mayor Pete said, out of all the candidates on this stage, I'm the only one who's not a millionaire. So I'm going to give him good on that. The choices are excellent, good, fair, poor, awful. Didn't watch the last Democrat debate. I'm going to give him good because I thought he was good in the last debate because of that. See, I can be fair. Next question. Considering only the quality of his policy positions, how would you rate Pete Buttigieg as a presidential candidate? Well, I'm kind of unclear about what his positions are, other than I'm a Democrat, vote for me, and I don't like Trump. So the choices are he's the best candidate, he's among the top few candidates, he's an average candidate, he's a below average candidate. I'm going to say he's a below average candidate. Next question. Considering only his electability, in parentheses, his ability to beat Trump, how would you rate Pete Buttigieg as a presidential candidate? He's the best candidate, he's among the top few, he's an average candidate, he's a below average candidate. That sounds kind of like the same question in a different way. I'm going to say he's below average. Next question. Far right-wing politicians like Mike Pence attack and demonize the LGBT community. Do you believe it is a good thing that Pete Buttigieg is able to run competitively as an openly gay candidate in the Democratic primary? Yes, it's a good thing that he can run as openly gay, or no, it's not a good thing. I'm going to say yes. I think it's a good thing that in 2020, people can be out and about and run for president. I think that's a good thing. So yes, it's a good thing that he's out gay of the closet, out of the closet gay, yes. Next question. Overall, do you approve or disapprove of presidential candidate Mayor Pete Buttigieg? Approve, disapprove, neither approve nor disapprove. That's an odd question. Do I disapprove? I don't disapprove of him. I don't approve of him either. So I'm going to put neither approve or disapprove. I'm going to be wishy-washy there. Next question. Donald Trump will likely be the Republican nominee. Do you approve or disapprove of President Donald Trump? Approve, disapprove, neither approve or... Well, I'm going to put approve because I'm answering honestly. Which means since I'm approving of Donald Trump, they're probably going to discount all of my other answers. But I'm going to put approve of Donald Trump. And that's it. I just submitted. It didn't give me any results. Oh, well, so those are the questions. But the fact that this question was a pop-up ad, and you know what? This is an interesting story. This story, Pete Buttigieg officially no longer mayor of South Bend, Indiana, is where the pop-up ad to take that survey came from. The story was at the Daily Caller, Tucker Carlson's online news website. So I think they want Republicans to take the survey since it was on the Daily Caller put out by Tucker Carlson. Oh, man. All right, listen, we're coming up on the top of the hour. Steve joining us, and this is just going to be an exciting, exciting year. And, the year 2020, we are ending the year with a spectacular celebration. It's called the Steve KANE Donald Trump Victory Cruise. And yeah, that's right. At the beginning of December, we are taking an incredible cruise right after the election, celebrating the victory of our great president and his re-election. It's actually December 6th we're leaving out of Port Everglades on the Celebrity Edge. So if you would like to join us, we already have a boatload of people who have signed up to join us, but we got more room on the boat, and you are all welcome. And there's great benefits to making your reservation early. As time goes on, we'll talk more about the details. We've got an incredible list of activities. Those of you that have been on our past cruises, we are changing up all of the activities and functions on this cruise from our past cruises. So it's going to be a whole new agenda of things. Call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot. He'll go through the details of everything we're doing and planning. His number listed at stevekaneshow.com, 561-244-5779. And join us on the Steve Kane 2020 Donald Trump Presidential Victory Cruise. 561-244-5779. All right, the third and final hour is beginning. Steve's joining us. Don't go anywhere.
FM 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470. WWNN Pompano Beach is the Florida Money Talk Network.
Hey guys, Brian here. Are you 30 years of age or older? If you are, you have low T. That's low testosterone. Don't worry, nothing's wrong with you. We all have low T. It's part of the aging process. That's why you get more tired than you used to. You want to take naps. The heat bothers you more than it did. And your sex life, well, I don't have to tell you about that, do I? Life doesn't have to be that way, though. Call my anti-aging doctor, Dr. Mitch Matez, at 561-953-5490. Talk to him about hormone replacement therapy. Hormone replacement therapy will give you your energy back. You're going to feel better. You're going to be more productive. And your sex life and sex drive will be back like it was when you were 25. It's a free consultation with Dr. Matez, but you have to tell him you heard about him on the radio. 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490. Online, hormonetherapybocaratone.com.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Sole Authority. With the Sole Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware that as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to one pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name-brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Sole Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoleauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Did you know that your skin is your largest organ? Yet, it's probably the most neglected. Living in South Florida means having an annual checkup for skin cancer is vital. We live in the Sunshine State after all, and our skin bears the brunt of the sunshine. It's time to have your annual skin checkup. There's no better doctor to take care of this for you than Dr. Jose Mendez. Dr. Mendez is a board-certified dermatologist, and when it comes to caring for your skin and making sure that it is healthy as possible and skin cancer-free, you want Dr. Mendez as your personal dermatologist. Dr. Mendez is caring and very knowledgeable. Your annual skin cancer exam is covered by Medicare. Dr. Mendez also takes most other insurances. Steve Kane recently had his annual skin cancer checkup. It was easy breezy. Dr. Mendez examined him from head to toe, took off a few things, and now Steve is good to go. Call Dr. Mendez right now at 954-431-7681. 954-431-7681. When you call, make sure to ask for Sarah. She takes extra good care of Steve Kane listeners and will get
There's
you an
one quick
appointment
thing.
fast. Early detection of skin cancer
Wait till we
can
come back.
save your life.
There's
Call
one more
Dr.
spot I
Mendez
gotta
right
play
now
before we come
at
back.
954-431-7681. 954-431-7681. This is your special invitation to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar. Be sure you and your family are properly protected, even if you already have a trust. Learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators, like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. This free Living Trust seminar is Tuesday, January 28th from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
The Steve Kane Show is live in Morning Drive, 6 till 9 a.m. weekdays, and overnights, midnight till 6 a.m., 7 nights a week. To call the show toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1.
All right. Yes.
Oh, boy.
Very good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
Ed, that you did for the skin cancer.
Oh, Dr. Mendez?
The
That's huge.
difference between life and death
Yeah.
is the difference between whether you have an annual, in many cases, whether you have an annual checkup for skin cancer. Catch it early, it's nothing.
You know, I went with you when you had your exam, you know, and you had your full body exam. Now, I stepped out of the exam room for the full body exam that Dr. Mendez gave you. I didn't need to see that. Thought of seeing you naked. But, yeah, I'm sure you do, because you experience it every day. But I was surprised about two things with the skin cancer exam at Dr. Mendez. One, it's covered by virtually every insurance, so including Medicare. Yes. Okay, which is huge. And second, how quick it happened, because you know, he's an expert. This is what he does all day, every day. He gave you a full body exam from the top of your head to the tip of your toes, and it was just a very short exam, went very fast, and it was thorough as well. So you guys want to call pretty much everybody in Florida because of the sun. I mean, it's
once a year.
Yeah, and when you catch it early, it's nothing. You know, if you ignore it, well, then, you know, you're in trouble. But yeah. Yeah. So, you know, President Trump did a huge thing for women this week. He'll get no credit for it, and it's not going to be widely reported. Donald Trump has done several things. I'll just mention a couple before we get to the new one. Donald Trump has ended the largest sex trafficking and prostitution rings for women and children in the world and in the United States by doing two things. One, he shut down Backpage, which was an online website that is where prostitution was being advertised in every city of the world, including every city and town in America. He shut that down early on in his presidency, and prostitution, both for adult and children, has gone down dramatically because of that. They can't advertise on the internet anymore. He shut that down. The second thing, by his security on the southern border, he slowed down child trafficking, which has had an impact on child sex trafficking as well, greatly reduced at the southern border. And then he signed a new law on Monday. You know, this guy, he doesn't take off. You know, they say he's at the golf course all the time, average once a week.
He does his business.
That's right. He has meetings on golf courses. He's not out there on the golf course with Tiger Woods hanging out. He's out there with important people doing deals. So, you know, I know they're making a big thing about him playing. They're saying that he may have been on the golf course more than even Obama. But this is work. It's not out there hanging out. But anyway, on Monday, President Trump signed a new bill into law, which is a great victory to women who have been victims of rape. Listen to this. ABC News reporting this, you know, but it's not going to be talked about on TV because it's a Trump thing that makes him look good, and they can't have that. President Donald Trump signed into law legislation that provides funding to help states eliminate backlogs in rape kit testing. The measure signed Monday by the president will deal with the more than 100,000 rape kits across America that remain untested because it's expensive testing and the states don't have the money. Advocates say that without proper federal funding, they may never be tested. It's called the Debbie Smith Reauthorization Act, named after a victim of a rape in 1989, where the evidence wasn't tested until 1994. It also funds DNA training and education programs, as well as the Sexual Assault Forensic Exam Grant Program. And they have a map that shows you how many untested rape kits are in each state, and it is massive. Many states have more than 8,000 rape kits untested.
I don't get that. What do you mean?
When a woman, a woman is raped,
They go to the hospital. We all know.
and they collect DNA. They collect hair samples and sperm samples from the attacker,
That's correct.
and they haven't been 100,000 or more haven't been tested.
I mean, they just took the samples and never did the testing.
Correct, because they don't have enough funding to fund all of these tests, and Trump has now authorized funding for all of them. And now with all this DNA testing that's going on, thanks to President Trump, thousands upon thousands, maybe tens of thousands of rapists are going to be brought to justice. And this is something that Obama didn't do. And none of the others did. In 1994, my goodness, is when this came up. Clinton was president in 94, so we've got
I
Clinton.
never even knew that controversy existed.
I knew it existed. I didn't know there was a bill around it. So President Trump has signed a bill that will bring thousands upon thousands, probably tens of thousands of rapists to justice, and women who have been victimized will also see some justice. So that's a good. Don't look for him to get any credit for this, because the narrative is he hates women, right? Of course, isn't that the political narrative?
But the one thing they have to give him credit for is the economy. With all the talk and what's going down, the most impressive thing, I just want to share a story with you. I had, like everybody else, I have a 401k that started years and years and years ago. And I never looked at it. I just kind of, I view it as a place where I keep my money prior to spending it. And I actually, I've been taking a lot of money out of it lately, which is really, you know, it doesn't feel good. It feels like, you know,
That's what happens when you split from your spouse.
when you have,
Yeah.
you know, executive producers that you can't afford to pay.
Oh,
But
please.
you pay them anyway.
Give me a
because they're
break.
So valuable.
Oh, it's my fault you have.
They're so valuable.
I thought it was because your marriage
Well,
fell apart. It's my fault. That you...
Anyway, the bottom line is I have not looked at my, you know, they send you every month, every 6 months or whatever it is, they send you an account thing and all that. But I had no idea how much I'd had in there. I knew how much I had 3 years ago before spending most of it. Do you know that I took a look at it, and with all the money that I've spent, and I thought I was going broke, and I thought I had, you know, no retirement or whatever it was. Son of a gun, if because of the market, I made up all the money I took out. I had the same as I had 3 years ago.
The Trump economy.
After having spent most of it.
The Trump economic boom.
Unbelievable. Now I know why everybody has a smile on their face. And when they say it's the economy, stupid, and that's the major thing that people vote on, I wonder how many other of our listeners out there had not looked at it, had a similar surprise. We call it the Trump surprise.
Yeah.
It hadn't looked. It only works if you don't go. If you go every day, it doesn't have the impact. But I mean, to check your totals. But
yeah.
And then I was just wondering how many people that were Trump haters and had that kind of experience with their 401k and realized they had this huge windfall.
Well, if you watch
And all
CNN,
of a sudden,
you would understand, Steve. That's the Obama economic boom, not the Trump economic. Even though he hasn't been president for almost 4 years, that's what Trump, you know, that's what Obama put in place, not Trump.
Well, they're all predicting. You know,
Give me a break.
They can't wait for it to fail.
Well, they know that's why this is the only election where you don't hear them say people vote their pocketbook, because the media don't want people thinking about it.
Yeah.
You know. Remember the left.
That's why Trump, every time he makes a speech, leads with the economy, because he does want people thinking about it.
Well, we're in the Roaring '20s again, and it's the Roaring '20s with Trump. You know, so.
All very exciting.
You'll never hear the media talk about people voting their pocketbook.
No. They're in such trouble. I just can't believe that there are even people out there that think that Trump has a realistic chance of losing. I just can't see it. There's no scenario. Even when they bring in the firemen, they're going to do that. None of these people, as I've been saying for months and months, none of these people that are presently running are going to be the candidate. And at the last minute, I always tell everybody about the bets that I make, because I love making political bets and do very, very well with political bets, culminating in a great victory with Trump's win. That was one of my most exciting moments in gambling. Actually, betting on Trump I don't consider a gamble. I consider it more of an investment than a gamble. But anyway.
Well, you know, there's a problem with that about the nominee. The first Democrat caucus is a little more than a month away. Like, I don't know the exact date, but we're just a little over a month and a couple days away from the first Democrat caucus. So, I don't know, has a candidate ever jumped into a race after they've had the first caucus and primaries? When's the last time that's happened? So if there's going to be someone else we haven't heard of, they got to jump in fast. Who? After the?
It's going to be anyway. I made my bet. There were I think it was about 17 or 18 to 1. Hillary. This is for the nomination.
She's got to jump in within the next month. If she misses that first caucus,
what happens?
I don't think it's ever happened.
The convention is fixed, and they got all those delegates like last time, and after the first round of voting, everybody,
When's the last time there was a brokered convention? There hasn't been a brokered convention like in 100 years.
It's set up to happen this time. It's set up to happen.
The Democrats had such a disaster by stealing Bernie's delegates away last time. They going to do that again?
Anyway, last time I looked, both Hillary and
Michelle Obama
were about 16 or 17 to 1. That's to win the nomination from this point on.
Well, if they don't jump in the next month, I would say you've lost your bet.
Well, they may not. That's not the point. But I think it's a good bet. Just to win the nomination.
They got to come in before the first primary votes, and they've got that first caucus coming up next month.
Iowa.
And when's the last time a candidate has not been in the? Because you're saying not in the race.
When's the last time there's been a situation like this with Barack Obama and these two ladies, one of whom is going to end up?
No. But there has not been, to my memory, since I've been following such things, someone in the modern era jumping into the race and winning the nomination after the first primaries.
You cannot go by that because the political situation we have now, nothing has ever come close to comparing to it.
Okay.
With these two high-profile ladies who have managed to stay out of it so far.
Yeah.
A collection of losers making up the rest of the slate.
I think you're doing some wishful thinking at this point.
I think it's a good...
I tell you who's more likely than either of them. If there's somebody that's not running, okay? If it's someone that's not running, I'm not talking about the people running. If it's not, well, there's a lot of people running. If there is one person not running that would jump in at the last minute, I would say Cuomo, the governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo. Fredo's brother. Yeah.
Never going to happen.
It's not going to be Michelle.
I mean, if he did, he's no chance of winning.
Well, none of them have a chance to.
The same reason that...
de Blasio dropped out.
Well, no,
Bloomberg.
Was another, yeah.
Yeah, Bloomberg.
Is
He's more likely than Hillary at this point. Only because I know I don't want you to mess up your bet. I know you're fantasizing about the bet, but they can't. I cannot imagine them coming in after they've had primaries. They'd have to come in because it doesn't happen that way anymore. It hasn't happened in forever.
Doesn't mean anything. There's never been a Donald Trump before this. So right there, that one factor changes.
Well, and you also have to consider whoever wins the nomination. What they're competing for is the right to lose to Donald Trump. So you have to find someone who's going to come in, who's willing to lose to Donald Trump.
Well, they're all willing to go up against Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Is to
maybe.
Be willing to lose to Donald Trump.
Possibly.
Anyway, we'll see. Get some feedback, see if any of my remember Greg One used to do political betting too. So,
Yeah.
Greg One
Not up for a while.
Let's take a break. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Will return after this.
Medical billing sticker shock. Ever have that happen to you? You go to your mailbox and get a bill for a routine test, and you owe lots of money. You thought it was covered by your insurance, but it wasn't. The cost of healthcare shouldn't break your budget, and you know what? It doesn't have to. This is Brian Craig, and I want to save you a lot of money on lab tests, like cholesterol test, diabetes test, thyroid screenings, drug test, STD test, and whatever other test you need. These are common lab tests, but can cost hundreds of dollars if you go to your doctor's office or to one of the big labs. But there is a solution at any lab test now of Plantation where you will save money, big money, on medical tests. Save time too. In and out in 15 minutes or less. Avoid medical billing sticker shock. I've been going to any lab test now at Plantation for years now for my lab test, and they've saved me thousands of dollars on my test. If you have any questions or want a quote on a lab test, give them a call. 954-916-1072. 954-916-1072. 1072. The Any Lab Test Now with Plantation staff will answer any questions you have, or just stop by. No appointment is needed. No doctor's order or prescription either. Any Lab Test Now with Plantation is located in the Jacaranda Plaza. That's the public shopping center in Plantation, just west of University Drive, on the north side of Sunrise Boulevard. When you stop in, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. 954-916-1072. 954-916-1072 for Any Lab Test Now of Plantation.
Who would you take? Everybody else, or would you take?
It's not going to be any of them, either of those two. It's not going to be Michelle or him. It's got to be somebody that comes. They can't come in after the primaries start. They don't do that anymore. They can't come in after the primaries. No, they don't, because they lose delegates. The delegates are already allocated to multiple people.
Call the Soul Authority today, 954-597-7060.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
I got a caller today.
Online, friendlytire.net.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, we are back.
Yeah.
No, the last one you were talking about how late based on history, can a candidate get in and still win? He didn't win, but a good example of somebody who tried that strategy was Mayor Giuliani. He didn't go until Super Tuesday, and of course it
was a disaster.
It was a disaster.
Yeah.
But obviously it was technically possible, or I don't.
See, this is you know what your problem. This is your problem. Okay, this is your problem.
Why does it have to be a problem?
Well, you got a lot of problems, but here's one of your problems. And I think people. I'm sure someone. I'm listening. I just picked up on this.
You're going to turn this into one of these gratuitous attacks.
It's not an attack.
Oh no.
It's an observation. What, are you nervous? What I'm going to say
I'm
your
not
problem
nervous.
is? You sound nervous. Now here's your problem. Okay. You came in, you started the hour by talking about how well, you're doing in the market under Trump. And immediately, when you have financial success, you're looking to gamble. You're looking to make bets. You're talking about, you're obsessing over gambling. You got to go talk to Dr. Lemaski at your next session about this.
But it's not a problem. Gambling's a problem if it gets in the way of.
I haven't heard, you're like, no, you're like,
As long as I've got,
you're getting obsessed with gambling.
As long as Trump is the president, I don't have to worry about.
No, but I haven't heard you talk about gambling so much. And now you're like, even during the break, you're talking to me about gambling. Because I don't gamble. I don't gamble at all.
Right. And you're jealous.
And you're trying to make bets with me. You said, I know you don't gamble, but if I gave you these odds, this was during the break. So
you know why I do that a lot? Because I do that a lot.
You're a gambling addict?
It's a way, no. I like to gamble, that's part of it, but because it's a way of telling whether people, you've heard the expression, put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
It's the greatest way of testing what a person really believes. So you can get up there and spout, oh, well, Hillary's not going to make it, or this one's not going to make it. If you won't bet $5 on your
I don't bet anything.
Well, it shows that you.
I don't gamble.
Sure.
Then I don't gamble.
Well, it shows
I don't gamble. The only time I've buy a lottery ticket, and I was at the track a couple times and put a bet or two down. I don't put some money in a slot machine for fun, but I don't make bets.
Life is like a
box of chocolates. Oh no, that's Forrest Gump.
Wrong movie. Yeah.
Life is like the racetrack.
I'd be interested in seeing. And if Craig One is out there, I would love to.
What do you mean it's like a racetrack?
No. You see how you're perked right?
No, you said life. And I wanted to hear your gambling addict
Well,
thing.
I hadn't thought it through.
Okay.
I didn't come up with the answer.
I just,
But
I'm
I
just.
think, I think it is, if I had a choice between, this is just for the Democratic nomination, not for the presidency, nothing against Trump, nothing with Trump, okay, but just for the Democratic nomination, if I had a choice of an entry of Hillary and Michelle as a possible candidate, or the rest of the field, I would take Hillary and Michelle.
Coming in. Mm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I don't. Michelle totally off the table in my mind, but Hillary.
Why would you say that?
Is,
Don't you
I-
understand?
I don't want to. I'm
You
sorry.
understand-
Your
you know how
gambling
depressed these
fantasy.
people- Listen, you know how depressed these people are, these Democrats?
Yeah.
Because they sense, they either know in their conscious mind
Yeah.
or they sense that it's curtains.
Yeah.
Because of the low, disgustingly low, bizarrely low quality of their candidates. And now just imagine the introducing with the searchlights going around, you know, and then Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
she would
Well,
be
let me tell you why.
hailed as the
I'll tell you
savior.
why. Now, anytime I start to question your bet fantasy, you get a little defense. Michelle's off the table. Hillary's not. But I'll tell you why Michelle's off the table.
I wanna hear it.
Okay. Even Michelle knows, by the way, Michelle Obama's never had a job in her life. Never. But Michelle knows Trump's going to win. She's on top of the world right now because they had 2 years of victory. She doesn't want to go out a pathetic
Victory,
loser.
You think she feels like a winner with what they?
Yeah, they had 2 terms. They won twice.
And then they're
She doesn't want to go out a
ridiculed-
loser
they're ridiculed for their whole
by
life.
Republicans, not their suck-up people at their, at all their parties they go to. Michelle looks at how much of a pathetic person Hillary Clinton has become over these failed runs. She doesn't want to go out a loser. Hillary is, in my opinion, Hillary Clinton's campaign people, not her because she's out of it. Her campaign, her staff around her, the people that would be running the country, but they lost. They're all at the Javits Center that
The
night.
ones that were crying on election.
Not the voters. I'm talking about like Podesta, the people on her
The ones
staff.
that were crying on election.
Her staff are the ones that are behind the impeachment. They're the ones that are behind the Hunter Biden thing and all this stuff.
right.
So Hillary Clinton's people are making a move for her to be able to come in and run.
All right,
I will
so
give you
that's-
that.
Is that supposed to lessen my argument?
There's
That
no
increases my argument.
there's no way that they'll come in after the primaries have started. No way. It has to be before. Because once they have the primaries, the delegates started getting allocated to multiple people. So,
But then
and
after the first round, I think they can switch.
everyone
change from
running-
ballot to ballot.
everyone running right now hates Hillary Clinton. Everybody. Except Biden, maybe. But everybody else hates Hillary Clinton.
Well, she has a following.
Not among the other candidates. Like right now, I'll tell you who's going to do.
Candidates aren't going to be choosing.
When the first primaries start with the Democrats is when they're going to start thinning the herd a little bit. And former Mayor Pete is no longer mayor. Don't forget, as of today.
Was there a story that was getting out of the?
He's no
cover?
longer the mayor. His term's over.
I mean, that's it. There was no.
But there was no cover. No, well, his term's up. But there was no coverage of it. I mean, it was like it didn't even have. Nobody even knows. I mean, Mayor Pete's probably going to end up being much closer to front runner status than ever before after they have the first caucus and primary.
They don't cash those tickets.
What do you mean?
I mean, it doesn't pay. So if he sees the leading runner-up isn't going to do anything for him. There's no.
Oh, well, we're gonna after the first two primaries, we're gonna have who the front runner will be in the Democrats. It'll be one of two. We'll have the top 2 people.
And you say.
Mayor Pete will probably be one of them. Yeah.
And who's your second? Because I've got my 2, Hillary and Michelle.
No, they're not in it. They're not on the ballot.
They will be.
Steve, the ballots, because the first caucus is a little more than a month and a couple days away. They may have already even printed the ballots. They'll be printing up the ballots any day.
Well,
And
but
once
there goes those races. I mean, what is printing up?
they'd have to be
ballots?
write-ins. They'd have to be write-ins.
I'm giving you my.
I would say after the first couple of the
Super
caucus or
Tuesday,
primary,
You gotta do something. You gotta do Super Tuesday.
it would be Mayor Pete and will be one of the 2 or 3 top
And
candidates.
Who would be the other? It has to be
One,
It has to be Biden. You can't. throw
Okay,
him
so who do
out.
we got? Who do we have left? We have Mayor Pete, Biden, Klobuchar. There's not so many left anymore. Lou, Elizabeth Warren. I would say the top 3 after the first 2 votes, after the first 2 states, will be Elizabeth Warren, Mayor Pete, and Bernie Sanders. Biden's going to be out of it quick. It'll be Warren, Sanders,
He's been out of
and
it
Pete.
since the beginning.
Yeah, yeah. Someone in the chat said, you look great. Yeah,
Really?
well, Dr. Nathan.
Oh, exactly. It's so natural you forget about it.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
a
that's the kind of
compliment
cosmetic work you want.
you. Yes, that's right. Natural is the way to go.
You know, there's something to be said about that, because we talked about this with Dr. Nathan. Notice it was Nick in Baltimore. He said in the chat room, he didn't say, "Oh wow, that's some great cosmetic work Steve had done."
Right.
He said, "Steve looks great." The last thing you want people to say is, "Oh, that cosmetic, whatever you had done, all that neck lift, that facelift, that Botox, that you look so great." You want people to say you look great, and if people can tell you've had cosmetic work, that's a sign of a cosmetic doctor that's really not that good.
An
You know,
excellent-
there was one guy. This was many years ago. I don't remember his name, and it's been so long. And we haven't heard from him in so many years. He may not be with us anymore. But you've been known for all the cosmetic work you've had done over the years
Yeah, I
and
used
things.
to do a lot of it when I was
Yeah.
younger.
Yeah, and we had a listener. He came to an appearance, and he had a facelift done. And it was from somebody we didn't. He got one of, I don't know, some bargain
He
basement
didn't listen to
facelift.
us.
And he came up to you and me, and he says, "Don't I look great? Look at this great facelift." And of course, we were nice. We said, "Oh, you look wonderful. We look wonderful." And when he left, we both said to each other, "It looks like he's wearing a mask."
Mm.
I mean, it didn't even. I mean, it was such a, you know.
You see, I don't know if it was the Enquirer this week. It was either the Enquirer or the Globe, but they had Hillary's new facelift, and they massacred Hillary. They
Really?
put in here on her upper cheeks, they look like golf balls. I mean, she really, and they talk about it too in an unflattering way. I think it's the Examiner or the Enquirer. Let's take our break. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back after this. This is Steve Kane. When it comes to looking your best, sometimes you need a little extra help. Dr. Nathan at the Nathan Clinic is a renowned plastic surgeon here in South Florida who will bring out your most beautiful self. Dr. Nathan, highly skilled, knows how to reveal your inner beauty and make you look your absolute best. He's a board-certified plastic surgeon. People come from miles around just because of his extraordinary skills and his caring bedside manner. Dr. Nathan performs breast augmentations, facelifts, Botox, tummy tucks, liposuction, and much, much more. Visit his website. Read the testimonials from his patients. They love Dr. Nathan, and you will too. He has years of experience and impressive credentials that make Dr. Nathan the only plastic surgeon you need visit. He'll advise you and tell you the best course of action so that you will always remain true to who you are. You can contact Dr. Nathan for a no-charge consultation by calling 305 area code 680-5121. That's area code 305-680-5121 or online at drnathan.com. Tell him you heard it on the Steve Kane Show.
Are you looking to sell your house or buy your dream home? Then call LaBella Real Estate. LaBella Real Estate love President Trump, and like Donald Trump, LaBella Real Estate want to get you the highest dollar amount when selling your home. And when looking for a new home, LaBella Real Estate will find you the best deal. LaBella Real Estate have over 20 years of experience in real estate and mortgages, and they are very knowledgeable about the South Florida real estate market. If it's a condo, single-family home, a luxury home, LaBella Real Estate can help. Buying or selling, call LaBella Real Estate at 561-445-7023. 561-445-7023. And online, LaBellaRealEstateLLC.com.
Donald Trump here. You're listening to the most pro-Donald Trump radio show in America, The Steve Kane Show. I love this show. Melania and I listen all the time. There's no better way to get the word out about your business than advertising here. Make America great again and advertise your business on The Steve Kane Show.
Thank you, President Trump. Call Steve Kane and Brian Craig, and we will discuss advertising your business on Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631.
Talk Steve Kane. Talk 1470. WNN.
This is your special invitation to attend Attorney Barry Siegel's free Living Trust seminar. Be sure you and your family are properly protected, even if you already have a trust. Learn how to avoid losing an inheritance to predators, like divorcing spouses, lawsuits, creditors, government agencies, and the IRS. This free Living Trust seminar is Tuesday, January 28th, from 2 to 3 p.m. at the Courtyard by Marriott in Boca. To attend this free event, call 1-855-FLA-ESTATE, 855-352-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
Oh, boy. Oh, man. I tell you, this is going to be a great year.
Ever-present gold report.
Yes.
Next.
Yeah, next break. Well, I got to tell you, though, this is going to be a great year. The Durham indictments are coming soon. We're going to get the indictments soon.
Yeah, when that hits the fan.
Oh, it's over for the Democrats then. It's over.
You know, I've been watching for months, figuring. I just can't believe the government's finally going to move and do something. But I'm convinced now, from watching enough of the behind-the-scenes talk that's out there, that the government has got to move. I mean, we have no credibility. We lose our credibility.
The government's been closed since the day before Thanksgiving, basically. The federal government, right? Because you had Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, all these holidays, Hanukkah. Now, today, things are starting to get back to normal. Next week, everything's back to normal. And you can tell by the way that Barr's been talking and things we've been hearing from Durham that they're close. Yeah. And it's going to happen. And that's going to be a major game changer. Maybe that's the reason Nancy's holding off on the impeachment articles. She's going to try to counter those indictments with the impeachment. Oh, we've indicted the president.
There's no way to counter the indictments. Really.
Oh, it's going to be unprecedented. It's going to be something we've not seen since the Watergate era. I'm talking about level of people getting in trouble. What was the highest ranking person that got jammed up during Watergate?
During Watergate, Haldeman.
Attorney General?
Yeah.
Who was the highest ranking one to get indicted, to face charges? Was there
I think Haldeman.
Was he Attorney General?
And I said Eichmann, but it's not Eichmann.
No, Eichmann. No, he got convicted in the Israeli court.
No, but who was the one I'm thinking of? Sounds like Eichmann, but...
I have no idea. I have no idea. Well, this is going to be unprecedented.
I want to see...
Haldeman, Erickman.
Comey's going to get up there...
Someone said Erickman. Hunt? Ehrlichman. Yeah.
And the Attorney General, John Mitchell.
Yeah. Did Mitchell face charges? Did Mitchell face charges? I was in diapers. I can look it up. I don't remember.
Look it up.
Yeah. Yeah, but Mitchell faced... This is going to be bigger than that, though. And I'll tell you why it's going to be bigger than that. Because, you know...
It's Donald Trump, that's why.
Well, because they were spying on a presidential candidate. That's never been done before. When they, what the people did around Nixon, they weren't directly involved in the break-in. They were involved in keeping they were involved in trying to get them money to keep them quiet and go away. That's different than actually being involved in the break-in. And not only were they involved in the break-in, they didn't try to make the break-in legal, right? G. Gordon Liddy didn't go and get fake warrants to break into, you know what I mean?
No,
they lied to...
They thought that executive privilege was going to...
Covered break-ins?
Covered the break-ins, and it didn't.
No, I don't know.
That was the mistake.
I don't think G. Gordon Liddy thought the executive privilege would cover a break-in. And what we have here are people that got fake warrants, lied to federal judges, and did all... I mean, there was a conspiracy for the actual crime, not the aftermath of the crime. So it's much more severe. Not in this case. In this case, it's not always the cover-up. They say the liberals started that because because Nixon wasn't involved in the break-in, so they said, "Oh, it's always the cover-up." So that they used that to make it sound like Nixon was worse. In that case, it was, but in this case, it was before the fact. There was a conspiracy to break into Trump Tower with fake warrants and everything else, and put wiretaps in it and over there at Trump Tower. So the conspiracy wasn't. They didn't really spend much time covering up because they were out of power. So if Hillary would have won they would have covered up.
It was all the meetings that were recorded.
Well, no,
in the
yeah,
Oval Office.
but that was after the break-in.
They had everybody plotting the whole thing. It was all on tape.
But that was after the break-in. They weren't plotting the break-in.
They were plotting the cover-up.
But in this case, it's worse because they were plotting the actual break-in in the case of Trump Tower.
No, they were plotting.
In Trump Tower, not in Watergate. In
All right, you get me confused.
in the spying operation on Trump Tower, they were conspiring for the break-in of Trump Tower. Okay, we got this phony dossier. We'll give it to John McCain. We'll get some phony warrants. We'll go in there. We'll get it. So there was a conspiracy before the fact in Trump Tower. In Watergate, it was all after the fact. This is much worse than Watergate. They spent no time covering this up because they were out of power.
You even got me confused now.
No, I'm not confused. No one's confused. If Hillary Clinton would have won, okay, if she would have won the election, there would have been a cover-up attempt. But Trump came in and got rid of all these people, so they weren't in a position to cover anything up, so they all became CNN pundits and tried to spin. Instead of covering up, they tried to spin. So they all get hired to be pundits on CNN to try to give you spin analysis of what happened because they no longer run the government agencies to do cover-ups with.
The rest is history.
Well, it's going to be glorious when the first indictments come from Durham. Oh.
And the place that's going to be the most fun are the pundits.
Some of the pundits might be indicted. They might because they're all, that's true. So, you know what though? It's really unfortunate in a lot of ways what's going on because when Obama won, none of us were happy. And what we did when Obama won was much different than what the left have done with Trump. What we did when Obama won, we did something, some of our conservative listeners did not like what we did. We said this.
Give him a chance.
That's right. Give the guy a chance. We said from this point forward, we're only going to talk about things.
Positive.
No, we're only going to talk about things from Obama this point forward. And all this past stuff with Jeremiah, we're not going to do any of that.
No Jeremiah.
We're going to start fresh.
We were going to be an example to other news people.
That's right.
Other
talk shows, yes.
How to do it right.
And we did it.
Clean slate.
And now it didn't take long for new stuff to come up.
Well, the new stuff took about, I don't know, what, 2 hours?
No, but we did. We not only did we do that, we cleansed our website, all of everything.
We had all these great cuts of.
We started from scratch. We started from scratch.
Even our great comedy material.
Yeah, no, we started from scratch with Obama. We said, you know what?
We felt he deserved a chance.
He won. We lost, and we were not sore losers. We didn't say, okay, we lost.
The difference between us and them.
Yeah, we said we lost, and we'll gear up for the next election, and we lost that one too. We weren't we lost, so we got to impeach him because we lost, and we got no candidates that can beat him.
Now, here's where we get our revenge. No, just. We'll take the high road again. It's the right way to
Well, I wish the Democrats would do that. Get a good candidate and get some issues.
It's not in their emotional makeup. It's not in their psyche.
Well,
they can't do that.
Yeah, I heard somebody, one of our listeners was talking the other day. They were saying that, Trump only won Florida by 180,000 votes, and now in Florida, the felons have the vote now, which is true.
All that was pre-Trump.
Well, okay. Not all felons got the vote back. Non-violent felons got the vote back. And if you want to do a political breakdown of felons, okay, violent felons are like the street thug types. you go to nonviolent white-collar criminals, you'll find more, a lot of these guys, they get out of jail, they're back in business. You know what I mean? You know, good legal business. You find, don't assume that the nonviolent felons are all about, I love how the left assume all the felons are Democrats. A lot of the nonviolent felons will vote Trump.
You know, everybody talks about the big disaster with this impeachment is it sets a precedent. From now on, in future years, when there is a Republican, there is a Republican.
A Democrat?
A Democratic president, it's going to come back to haunt us, you know, because everybody will want to take revenge.
Want to impeach him?
Yes. It's not like that because Republicans' minds don't work that way, or at least I thought so, until last night I watched the special on the water.
Oh no, the Bill Clinton, yeah, Whitewater, yeah.
Water in it. Let's take a break. We'll be back with the Gold Report right after this.
Are you paying too much for auto insurance? Call Debbie at Iowa Advisors, 954-753-8080, and she will review your auto insurance policy at no charge. 954-753-8080. No matter what your situation is, tickets, no tickets, accidents, no accidents on your record, you may be paying too much. Call Debbie right now, 954-753-8080, and stop paying too much for auto insurance. 954-753-8080.
Hey guys, are you losing your hair? Stop hair loss in its tracks and call Dr. Mitch Matez for a free consultation. Talk to him about hormone replacement therapy. Hormone replacement therapy will stop hair loss in its tracks, and the hair you have left will grow in thicker and fuller. Stop your hair loss and call Dr. Matez, 561-953-5490, 561-953-5490. Online at hormonetherapybocaratone.com.
For the best wings in this town, it's Wings Plus. Wings that are first grilled and then fried to make them extra crispy, served with blue cheese and celery. Try the Jamaican jerk, the lemon pepper wings, the honey mustard wings, the garlic wings, and 15 other varieties. That's Wings Plus, located at 9880 Sample Road in Coral Springs with a politically elite meat.
Listen to the Steve
Youngerman
Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, we are back. Time for the Gold Report, right? Got all excited there. Right. William, okay. William's on the ball. He knows what's going on. Exciting times in the precious metals markets, and especially exciting times if you happen to be a client of William Youngerman of William Youngerman Inc. William is, of course, one of the top gold experts, really, not just gold, but I mean all of the precious metals. Anywhere in the world. He is renowned. He's been advising clients on trends and on movements and patterns. 52 now, I think it's up to, after last New Year's Eve, I think it's up to 53 years. 16 of them here on the Steve Kane Show. William, how are things looking today?
Looking good, Steve. Just to recap for 2019, we've had gold close up $237, closing out the year at $1,516.80. Overall, that was an 18.5% gain for gold in 2019. It even exceeded our forecast for gold, which was $1,500 for 2019. So gold did very well, closing out the year very strong. As I said, up 18.5% on the year. Silver did very well, closing out the year up $2.35 at $17.82 the ounce. That was a 15% gain. Platinum did very well, up $177 in 2019, which was a 22% gain, closing out the year at $964. And palladium, the big star for the precious metals, at least one of them, was up 53.5%, up $670 in 2019, closing out the year at $1,923. The gold-silver ratio remained pretty much 85-1 throughout the year. Bitcoin closed out $7,200 for the year. The U.S. dollar index closed down to 96.5, which was pretty much in the mid-range where it traded almost all year. Oil closed out the year at $61 a barrel. And this morning we've got to follow through on that precious metals up as we we see gold continue to rally, up $8.50 right now at $1,525.30 the ounce. Silver back over the $18 number at $18.02 right now, up 20 cents this morning. Platinum, the big gainer this morning, up $23 at $987 the ounce. And palladium up $3 at $1,926. So good start for the new year. Our forecasts going forward are seeing gold at least $1,620 this year, but we could see a much higher price with the political and economic conditions that we're looking at going forward, as well as the war, the concerns in the Middle East, and many other concerns that we are looking at going forward into 2020. So certainly be prepared to by having your gold and your silver portfolios trimmed nicely, not trimmed, but enhanced nicely going forward this year, I think.
Tuned up. That's what it needs. It's a financial tune-up, and no better place to get it than at William Youngerman's. William, by the way, if you live in South Florida, you can deal with him in person at his magnificent place of business, shop. I guess you wouldn't call it a shop, but whatever it is, you sure have some beautiful pieces of gold and silver. William not only sells the precious metals, he buys them as well. So if you have old things lying around made of silver, gold, any of the precious metals, bring them in. William will magically turn them into cash. And you'll find him at 150 East Palmetto Park Road. That's the Bank America building, right on the first floor, directly across from the bank. You can reach William by phone at 1-800-327-5010 or visit the website. I suggest you visit that website. A lot of time and effort has been put into it, and it's really quite an experience. Just go to WilliamYoungerman.com. William, we'll speak to you tomorrow, all right?
Have a great day, and Happy New Year to all.
Happy New Year to you.
Oh yeah. Now I got to. I just want to do a little self promotion here at the end for the show, because here we are. We're in the Roaring 20s again, right? It's 2020, first show of the new year. We're welcoming a whole bunch of new sponsors to the Steve Kane Show that are starting now, January 1st. And we did a little soft start during the holiday period, but they're all listed at SteveKaneShow.com. And some of our new sponsors, we have Labella Real Estate, and I got to tell you. Call Labella Real Estate. This is, this is another one of those great, very pro-Trump companies. If you're buying or selling...
Strangely enough, most of our sponsors are ardent Trump supporters.
Most, yeah. But if you're buying or selling residential or commercial, call Labella Real Estate, listed at SteveKaneShow.com. Of course, Dr. Troy Lemaski, who is Dr. Janae Lemaski's brother. And if you're suffering from back pain, neck pain, knee pain, any joint pain, call Dr. We call him Dr. Troy so we don't get the Lemaskis mixed up, but it's the same family. But just she takes care of your emotional health.
She handles the mind and the psyche.
Yeah.
People coming out of the holidays, a very good time for people who have some problems.
That's right.
And if you're in that category, feeling depressed over the holiday, whatever it is, call, make an appointment with Dr. Janae Lemaski.
Yeah. But her brother, Dr. Troy Lemaski, he is our newest sponsor here on the Steve Kane Show. If you're dealing with any type of back pain, neck pain, joint pain, call him up. Sciatica. You were telling me if you got these pain issues and you don't get them treated, they don't go away, they get worse.
That's absolutely right.
And back pain is something I've had to deal with because I have a curvature of the spine, and I've got to take very good care of my back because of that, because it gets very, and let me tell you that back pain is like a disability. I mean, it's, I've had the pain so bad that it puts you to sleep.
I mean, pain anywhere. Like my recent bout with pain was with the shoulder. I've got a frozen shoulder here.
Yeah.
Which is not like.
So,
but
yeah.
Anyway, that was awful. Every time I lifted my arm, I got this shooting pain.
Yeah.
I've been seeing Dr. Lemaski now for a couple months with it. What a difference.
Yeah, and Dr. Troy Lemaski, his office is in Fort Lauderdale. It's right at the intersection of Oakland Park Boulevard and US 1 Federal Highway. And I drove down there from Boca, And it took me just about 20 minutes, just a straight shot down Federal Highway to get there. So it's only 20 minutes from my house in Boca, very convenient. His number listed at stevekaneshow.com as well. But, all of these sponsors of the program that you guys out there support each and every year are what keep the show going, and we want to thank you and thank them by continuing to participate
And Donald
with
Trump
them.
wants to thank you, too.
That's right, which he's doing, if you hear but this is going to be a big year for, any presidential year is a big year for talk radio. I mean, it's like the World Cup every 4 years.
It's going to be exciting.
But this one is going to be different because the Democrats, the Democrats have such a, like Mayor Pete, I give you an example. With Mayor Pete, they're trying to push him now a lot because he raised a lot of money. And recently he raised like 20-some million dollars in this last break. He's like doing very well in fundraising. The problem with Mayor Pete as a Democrat candidate is he's too young and inexperienced. And I'll give you an example about what I mean by this. He's 37, right? He's no longer the mayor of South Bend, and it's not being reported. If he had a great record as mayor, that would be very much covered. They would go to South Bend.
Well, he does. He alienated the black.
Well, he doesn't have a good record. I'm talking about why he's a bad candidate for Democrats. If Mayor Pete was a decent mayor, this transition of power that just took place in the mayor's office in South Bend would be covered live on television. Well, here's Mayor Pete. He's handing the gavel to the new mayor. You're not seeing any of that. You haven't seen.
Trying not to talk about it.
No, you haven't seen any coverage in South Bend of them walking down the street and, hey, you resident of South Bend, how do you feel about the great work Mayor Pete Buttigieg, so he's a terrible candidate. He's too young and inexperienced, and he's obviously got a bad record in South Bend.
Is there anybody out there that thinks that Mayor Pete is going to put up a meaningful fight against in a debate with Donald Trump? Give me a break.
No way. And what'll happen with Pete is he'll lose either the nomination or whatever it is, and he'll go on to run for the Senate or something. And he, that's where he should have done. He should have run it for the Congress.
Don't forget to figure in, and this might be interesting to talk to the audience about. Don't forget to figure in the vice presidential candidates, because they're going to, at least out of all these people who worked so hard and dutifully to make their mark on the Democratic Party, the least they can get as a consolation prize is the vice presidency.
Yeah.
And look for that little battle to shape up. But they're going to be at each other's throats. They're going to destroy. You're going to see a bloodbath amongst the Democrats.
Well, I saw something on Twitter this morning. See, the Democrats are fighting amongst themselves. They're also pushing Sanders now. And there was on Twitter this morning I couldn't believe they found a high-quality video of this. Bernie Sanders, when he first became mayor of that town up in Vermont, on the Phil Donahue show. And the audio and video is very good. It's circulated on Twitter this morning. And Phil Donahue asks him, are you a capitalist? And he says no. And he gets into details about it. That's out there because of the Democrats. The Democrats are... There's a big fight in the Democrat Party between the Democrat, old centrist establishment and the radical leftist. And they're just destroying each other.
And there's a fight amongst the leftists, too.
Yeah. Who's
they've got fights.
Because some aren't liberal enough.
Well, Bernie and who's the
Warren.
Prime Minister?
Yeah, Warren. Yeah. Yeah, and Buttigieg is going after Elizabeth Warren. So the infighting among the Democrats is so nasty, they're destroying each other. But before they even got
that is only going to increase.
Usually it's like at this point in the Republican primary process, we had one front runner from day one. His name was Donald Trump. So Donald Trump would focus on one candidate pretty much at a time. But now you've got, in the Democrat primary, you have it's like the Hunger Games. You have every candidate fighting every other candidate. There's too much destruction going on inside the Democrat primary process to have a credible candidate come out of this.
It's good destruction.
Well, it's good for us in Trump.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you look at it that way.
Sort of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That does it for today. We will be back to pick up. I got to tell you, it's not going to take long. By the middle of next week, we're going to be knee deep in the old stuff again, and the hits will keep coming, and you keep joining us. We're going to be here every morning, 6 a.m., starting with Brian Craig, with me joining in progress. In the meantime, Have a great day. See you tomorrow. God bless America.
All right, guys. Take care. Make sure if you don't that you subscribe. All right? Take care, everyone.